Now time for the Heineken On Deck Show. Heineken. It's all about the beer. Here now is the voice of the Rivercats, Johnny Dosco.
Hi, everybody. We're at Franklin Covey Field in Salt Lake City, Utah. Rivercats baseball is on the air tonight. It's game 2 of a 4-game set. The Rivercats, the Pacific Coast League AAA affiliate of the Oakland Athletics, and the Salt Lake Stingers, the Anaheim Angel AAA affiliate in the PCL, will go at it. A good game last night. Salt Lake doing what they have done so far pretty regularly in the early part of the season as they came back to win another baseball game. They've done it 3 times already in the first 5 games as they came back to win 4-3. They were down 3-1. They scored 1 in the 7th, 1 in the 8th, and 1 in the 9th to defeat the Rivercats by a 4-3 score. Actually, we had some good pitching in the game. Mario Ramos, who I found out this morning, left the game because of a groin pull, but actually was pitching very well. 4 innings of 4-hit baseball, allowed 1 earned run, did not issue a walk, and he struck out 2. Wayne Gomes also pitched very well, 3 2/3 innings, allowed 6 hits and 2 earned runs, was very sharp, right around the plate, 1 walk and 4 strikeouts, but in the end, it was Brian Gordon singling home Alfredo Amezaga pushing that bunt toward the second baseman Morrissey trying to make the play, flip it in one motion, and he threw it past the first baseman Dan Johnson. So Amezaga got to second base, and that set up Gordon with the game winner, a line drive into left center. And Salt Lake wins again as they find themselves with a 4-1 record. They're a game in front of Edmonton. Rivercats, meanwhile, 2-3. They are a game and a half out. The Tucson Sidewinders, who are 3-1. Vegas 2-3. They're a game and a half back as well. Fresno finds themselves at 1-4 and 2.5 back in the PCL South.
Matt Hensley, the
Rivercats, Mike Rouse back in the lineup. He had
Matt Hensley will face
kind of a nagging back problem in the lower back, but feeling a little better. He's not 100% right now, but he is going to be in the lineup. He'll be in that 2 slot tonight. Mike Edwards is in the 3 slot, and the Rivercats pretty much getting closer and closer to full strength. As we say, Graham Kuntz will rejoin the club most likely on Friday, and Nick Swisher looks like he'll be ready by Friday as well. Steve Stanley's done a nice job. He's hitting .318 for the season. What a firecracker he is, and he is out of the University of Notre Dame. He's our guest on the Heineken On Deck Show. We'll chat with Steve after this on Talk 650 KSTE.
Sacramento's Talk Station.
Remember, today you listen to Talk 650 KSTE.
Exciting Rivercats baseball. Here again is the voice of the Rivercats, Johnny Dosco, on Talk 650 KSTE.
The Heineken On Deck Show. We're getting ready for Game 2 of this 4-game set. The Rivercats taking on the Salt Lake Stingers, the Anaheim Angel AAA affiliate here in the PCL. Our guest is center fielder Steve Stanley. Just has this approach to life where he just enjoys every day. Almost an Eric Burns feel, if you will. But how you doing, bud?
I'm doing great, and I love any comparison to Eric Burns. I think I'm trying to grow my hair out kind of like him a little bit. But these fans that notice you from Sacramento and they say anything about Eric Burns, I'm trying to do anything I can to be like him, get up there into the show.
I tell you play the exact same way. Is that the way did you play that way at Notre Dame? Have you played that way your entire career?
Well, I've really had to, because being a smaller guy, you got to do anything you can to go improve yourself every day. And I think being smaller like that, people watch you, they watch what you do. But if I go out and I'm a mediocre player, I'm terrible. I mean, anything that I don't do full go is noticed not only by my parents and by the people that I love and respect the most, but also the fans out there. They notice that I'm not playing hard, so I try to go out there every day and play my best.
Before we talk about your professional career, let's talk about your collegiate career at the University of Notre Dame. Obviously, storied program, not only in football but baseball. You said you didn't draw a lot of fans because of the cold weather, but you said still it was a nice diamond and a pretty good atmosphere.
Oh, no doubt about it. I mean, even though being in the North, it's a great place to play. And as the football team has kind of struggled, the baseball team got a little bit more respect, got some more fans, and actually going to the World Series in 2002 really helped us out to get some more people to come out to the games. I'm excited for Coach Maneri. He's been a huge role model for me, my head coach at Notre Dame. He's helped me in baseball, not only that, but also as a person, and I learned a ton there.
What's it like walking around that campus? I mean, you talk about the nostalgia, and people say, "Oh, it's overblown." But do you really feel the history on that campus?
Oh, definitely, no question. Johnny, we were talking the other day when you went back into the locker room, and when I went and visited the locker room, and I went there for the first time to take a visit to the school, I knew that it was exactly the place I wanted to go. The people there that are associated there, just a class act, and I've already tapped into the alumni clubs. I called the alumni from Sacramento. I met a guy, Ray Reilly, and we've already been in contact. They're going to come to the game, so it's a great place to be. And the nostalgia you feel, like you said, the tradition is it's just as real there as you see on the movie Rudy.
Wow. How many times have you seen that movie?
It's countless. I have the movie on VHS, and I've probably seen it 20 times at least. Wow. I love it.
How about this though? I mean, you get drafted and you play in the A system. It's your third year of professional baseball. You talk about a dream come true. Did you expect this for yourself, or did you expect this even before Notre Dame?
No way. God has been so good to me and my family. In fact, the story goes, when my junior year came around, really nobody was looking at me at all. I got drafted in the 50th round, the last round of the draft. So I decided to come back for my senior year. I had never expected to be drafted in the second round by the A's. In fact, the teams that had talked to me, I'd never talked to the A's once, and everybody told me they'd probably take me from the 10th to 15th round. So I wasn't even expecting this. And this has just been a dream come true. And every single day I get to play this game, I feel fortunate and blessed just to be able to come out here.
Tell us about your first year in pro ball and the experience of facing guys that are the best of the best of the best to even be at the pro level.
Well, it's incredible. I'm so excited to be here in AAA. I'm learning from the guys that have been to the big leagues, and I'm learning from Tony and from Rick Rodriguez and all the guys, all the staff that Joe Sparks has helped me so much to learn what it takes to get to the big leagues, to learn what it takes to be that elite player. And I'll tell you, being here my second full season, I feel so fortunate and blessed that I'm just trying to soak up the experience when I can.
That's right. This is your second full season. It's unbelievable that you are playing at the AAA level. What were your expectations going into this year? Do you have a goal of playing AAA? What were some of your goals?
Well, I really had no idea going into pro ball what to expect. I didn't know if they would take me to low A, then to high A, then double A, then AAA. I really wanted to go out and prove to them that they made a good pick, first of all, and also that they could completely trust me to do exactly what they expected me to do, which was to go out and play hard every night. You might not get a guy that's going to hit the ball out of the park, hit in the middle of the lineup, or have a great arm in the field, but I'm going to do the little things to hopefully help the team win, and also in the long run help a club stay up and the morale stay high, and I think that's the kind of player they wanted, so I'm going to try to be that player.
That's Steve Stanley, our guest, and we'll chat more with the former member of the University of Notre Dame. We return after this on Talk 650 KSTE.
The world is a dangerous place.
There are several trains that have been exploded to bits.
And it just got a lot more dangerous.
A nation can survive its fools.
Michael Savage.
But it cannot survive treason from within.
He'll help you make sense of it all.
The traitor appears not a traitor. He speaks in accents familiar to the victims. And he wears their face in their arguments.
Michael Savage, the voice you can't ignore. Afternoons at 4 on Talk 650 KSTE. Talk 650. Talk 650 KSTE.
Jack Armstrong and Joe Getty inviting you to start your day with the Armstrong and Getty Show.
Unlike anything you've ever heard before, and not in a good way.
We kid, it's good. It's the issues that really matter to you.
Jobs, dating, sex, TV, marriage, kids, money, society, and those rotten, stinking, thieving politicians.
But we don't take any of the above very seriously, including ourselves.
Tune in for a laugh
On Talk 650 KSTE.
It's all talk. It's all encompassing. And it's all savage. Weekdays at 4 on Talk 650 KSTE. Sacramento, River Cats Baseball, AAA affiliate of the Oakland A's on Talk 650 KSTE.
All right, back at Franklin Covey Field, Johnny Dosco with you, and here's the second part of our interview with Steve Stanley. Notre Dame, obviously.
Right, and so that has kind of, I've adapted also. So sometimes a lot of times I've hit 1 in pro ball. I've also hit 8 and 9 and 2, just to try to get used to all the different aspects of the game and all the different positions that I might play.
Yeah, no, it's your game being in that leadoff role, and it's something that you probably have done since Little League, right?
Well, no question about it. My dad taught me from little up that I wasn't going to be big and strong, so I needed to hit the ball the other way. And it was so invaluable for me to learn how to do that, to hit the ball the other way, to bunt, to get on base, to walk, to steal bases, to play good center field, and to be the type of guy that's going to be a catalyst for the team to score a lot of runs.
You know, you have great speed, but I guess more important to you as far as the speed, more important than the speed is really first to third on a single, first to home on a double, right. Having a feel and knowing the entire field, knowing who's out there, and knowing which base take. They always say about Derek Jeter that he never makes mistakes on the base paths. I guess that's the key.
That's exactly right. And I'll tell you, when you get out there, you're a potential run, and you're safe at the base. You want to make sure that you're doing the right things. That I'm not saying you don't want to be the type of player that's scared to get picked off, but at the same time, you're a smart player, and I'm learning how to be a smarter player each day. And the most important thing is taking your talent to the utmost level that you possibly can, and then also being the smartest player you can. And those are the two things I'm really learning how to do.
You said to me that the enthusiasm, the energy of Nick Swisher is infectious. Yeah. Talk about that a little bit. You remember playing against him when he was at Ohio State, right?
Yeah, no question about it. You know, I was telling you the other day that some people it rubs wrong because of the fact that he is so excited all the time. And you cannot at all feel anything but good when you talk to that guy. He makes you feel good. You know, at the same time, you feed off his energy when he comes in. Even when he's not playing, you can tell that he's a part of the team atmosphere. He wants to play. He's chomping at the bit. Even when he got in batting practice for the first time yesterday, you were just saying, I hope this guy gets a chance to get back on the field because he's driving me nuts being on the bench. He's just so excited.
What's the biggest adjustment, besides about aluminum bats to wood bats, but what's the biggest adjustment as far as the pitching is concerned, facing the pitching in pro ball?
Well, no question it's the ability for them to hit spots. Also, some guys throw harder, but for the most part, you know, really it's the ability to hit spots and the ability to throw off speed for strikes. And so what you've got to do is you cannot give in and strike 1 and strike 2 on pitches that are pitchers' pitches. That's something I'm having to learn to do at AAA. I've given a couple of bats away by swinging at their pitch early in the count, which you just can't do. And so the other thing that I've learned is every single guy now, not only starters but guys in the bullpen, are guys that would have been starters either in college or in the lower levels. And so everybody you're facing is tough.
You know, Steve, the A's have this philosophy on the selective aggressiveness, hitting the right pitches, and you've always been that type of hitter, and that's obviously one of the reasons the A's drafted you as high as they did, is the ability to understand that how important it is to be selectively aggressive.
Right. Well, no question about it. I think a misconception in the A's organization is that you're up there trying to draw a walk, and some players early in their career, I think, have a difficulty with that because if they're not a selective aggressive hitter, they end up becoming a passive hitter, and it ends up becoming tough for them to learn how to be selectively aggressive. I go up there looking to swing the bat, and if I don't get the pitch that I want, I'm taking it. So a lot of times the byproduct of you being a selectively aggressive hitter is walks and on-base percentage, and that's how it's supposed to be. But many people think, well, if I go up there and I try to draw walks, it's going to happen. That's not going to happen at this level. These guys are too good. You've got to aggressively be able to swing the bat, put a little bit of fear into this guy, make him make some pitches that he doesn't want to make, and then you're going to find out you're going to draw some walks.
Outstanding. Well, you had the experience of playing at the AA level. You have a chance to see some of the Cal League parks. Your impressions so far, obviously the Wasatch Mountains in the background. Your impressions of not only this ballpark, but a beautiful Raley Field.
Oh, no question. This field here, the Stingers field, is incredible. Being able to see the Wasatch Mountains in the background, like you said. I've never been into Utah or Colorado, so this for me is incredible to see new places. But Raley Field, I mean, I'll be honest with you, there's not going to be any other field like it for me that I've seen in minor league baseball. Not only the atmosphere that we had with the fans, but just the field and the setting, and just like you said, really the feeling that you get like at Notre Dame, the nostalgia and kind of the feeling you get when you walk into the field is this is a place to play ball. This is a place where people love the game.
And you heard about it in AA. The guys that came down would say, wait till you see this ballpark, right?
Well, the guys that came down were more upset than they thought they'd be. Because, I think a lot of times when you have to move down from this place, you realize what you're missing. You realize every night that you're going out that, oh, man, I wish I was in Sacramento again. So a lot of times, that's a motivation. You want to stay there. And, unless you're going to the big leagues, being in Sacramento is the next best thing.
Before we let you go, buddy, talk about your wife's influence, and you said she's as important as anybody in your life. Talk about her a little bit.
Well, she every day is my influence, and one of the reasons why I play this game. I'm there to support her and our daughter, but Brooke is so helpful to me, not only with the game, but more importantly with my faith. She helps me stay strong in my belief of Jesus Christ. And the other thing that she helps me do is she helps me just keep my mind settled on things. This game, when it's all said and done, is probably third in importance to me. One in my faith, two to my family, and third this game. And some people, I think they don't take that the right way, but when they understand me, I'm going to come out here and play really, really hard because of those first two things.
All right, Steve, we're running out of time. Appreciate the chat, and good luck the rest of the way, buddy.
Thank you so much, Johnny.
Steve Stanley, our guest. We'll have more right after this.
Take me out to the ball game. Take me out with the crowd.
Remember, today you listen to Talk 650 KSTE.
Death metal chainsaw music. Not here, you don't. This is Sacramento's Talk Station.
We must follow no other course.
Talk 650 KSTE.
Sean, good morning. You realize it's the front page of USA Today. All right, Michael. Well said. That's exactly what I told you.
The whole show today has been about my life.
Now listen to this. Oh, this is going to be good.
I'd rather shoot myself.
My sweet white lining. I agree. What Joe said. You're both crazy.
Armstrong and Getty.
Hi, guys. Love your show.
You've never heard talk radio like this before.
If that's the soup, I'm having the salad in a roll.
Wake up with Armstrong and Getty. Early mornings on the Talk Station. Talk 650 KSTE.
Remember, today you listen to Talk 650 KSTE.
He's young, hip, and maybe just a little nuts. He's Glenn Beck at 10 in the morning right after Armstrong and Getty. Only on Talk 650 KSTE. River Cats Baseball, 9-10 weekend on Talk 650 KSTE.
Friends, that will wrap up the Heineken On Deck show. We'll have the starting lineups and the first pitch after this on Talk 650 KSTE.
You've been listening to the Heineken On Deck Show. Heineken, it's all about the beer. Stay tuned. Starting lineups and the first pitch is next.
Bye. Remember, today you listen to Talk 650 KSTE.
Hi, everybody. We're at Franklin Covey Field here in Salt Lake City, Utah. Rivercats baseball is on the air tonight. Is game 2 of this 4-game set. The Rivercats taking on the Salt Lake Stingers. Rivercats trying to even up this series at 1 apiece. Rivercats have not been able to manufacture back-to-back victories yet, but trying to start that winning streak today after losing last night 4-3. Give it the starting lineup for Sacramento, the Oakland A's affiliate here in the PCL. It'll be Steve Stanley to lead things off. Steve, our pregame guest, and great to chat with him on the Heineken On Deck show. He's leading off and playing center field. Mike Rouse will bat second. He's the shortstop. It'll be Mike Edwards to bat third. Mike is in right field. Dan Johnson will bat fourth. He's the first baseman. Tom Wilson will be the designated hitter tonight, and he will bat fifth. It'll be Mike Rose to do the catching and bat sixth. Matt Watson is batting seventh. He's in left field. Adam Morrissey is batting eighth. He's the second baseman. And Ramon Castro, he is batting ninth, and he is at third base. For the Salt Lake Stingers, the Anaheim Angel AAA affiliate here in the PCL, it'll be Alfredo Amezaga to lead things off. He is the shortstop. Brian Gordon will bat second. He's the right field. He was the hero last night. Rob Quinlan, he'll be in that 3 slot. He's at first base. Adam Riggs is the designated hitter, and he will bat fourth. Alex Pelaez will bat fifth, and he's at third base. Gary Johnson is in that 6th slot. He's playing left field. Barry Wesson is batting seventh and playing center field. Tom Gregorio doing the catching and batting eighth. And Brian Specht is the second baseman, and he is batting ninth. All against the right-hander Steve Greenlever. Painting the Corners pitching matchups presented by Frizzy Paint and Wall Covering, the official paint company of the Rivercats. Steve Green is 1-0. ERA of 7.20. He allowed 4 earned runs in 5 innings in his first start, 3 walks and 4 strikeouts, and he is opposed by Mike Wood as Woody 1-0. ERA of 1.80. He allowed 1 earned run in his 5 innings of work, and he issued 1 walk and he struck out 4. As Green to the plate, the first pitch to Stanley, a fastball in there for a strike, and we're underway. The count's 0-1. That's our Painting the Corners pitching matchups presented by Frizzy Paint and Wall Covering. When it's time to paint, visit the Frizzy location nearest you. Here's the 0-1 pitch to the left-hand hitting Stanley. That misses high with the fastball, and it's 1-1. 345 down the left field line. 375 in the left center field alley. 420 to dead center. Steve Green, the Canadian, to the plate, and the pitch is swung on a 2-hopper hit down to the third baseman. Up with it, Pelaez plants, throws, and gets him, and there is 1 away. Pelaez had to shift about 10 feet to his left, and it's a 5-3 putout. Stanley is retired. 1 down. And that will bring up the shortstop, Mike Rouse. Here's Rouse. Been bothered by a sore lower back and have missed the last couple of days, but back in the lineup, hitting .286 on the young season. 2 for his first 7. Rouse, a left-handed hitter at the plate. Steve Green takes a deep breath as he looks in the outfield straight away. Green out of a windup, and the pitch. Fastball in there for a strike. It's 0-1. Joe Judkowitz is the home plate umpire. Brian Knight at first base. Frank Coughlin is at third. Here's the 0-1 pitch from Green. Fastball, that's slapped down to the second baseman on 2 hops. Up with a cleanly a Specht. Throws to first in time, and there are 2 away. So 2 ground ball outs already for Steve Green. And that'll bring up Mike Edwards, the right fielder. So here's Mike Edwards. Mike hitting .250 now, no homers and 1 driven in. The Rivercats looking to get back to 500. 2 wins, 3 losses. Green last year with Salt Lake was 9-5, ERA of 4.66. Did get a big league start with Anaheim in 2001 as the first pitch taken for a strike, and it's 0-1. 6 innings, 4 hits, 2 earned runs, 6 walks, and 4 strikeouts in that start. And fastball on the outside edge, and it's quickly 0-2 on Edwards. So Green has come out here and thrown strikes quickly. Right-hander stares in. He's out of a windup. Here's the 0-2 pitch. That's swung on and fouled back to the screen. And the count remains at 0-2. Green from Greenfield Park, Quebec in Canada. 10th round pick of the June 97 draft. 6'2", 200-pounder. No balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Tony DeFrancesco coaching at third. Nick Swisher at first. Here's the 0-2 pitch. That swung on, a fly ball to left field, playable. Gary Johnson started back, now comes in, puts down the shades and makes the catch, and the inning is over. So 1-2-3 inning for Steve Green. Made it look easy in the first. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left. We're through half an inning. Sacramento nothing. Salt Lake coming up. Bottom of the first after this on Talk 650 KSTE.
Michael Savage, the voice you can't ignore.
Get with the program.
Don't miss Michael Savage.
I love it.
Afternoons at 4.
That's right.
On Talk 650 KSTE. Talk 650 KSTE. Talk 650 KSTE. Rancho Cordova, Sacramento. Savage Nation.
Brett, you're on the Savage Nation.
How you doing? Hello?
All right, next case. You violated the rules of the show.
Savage.
I am not like any other talk show host in America. No one asks me how I'm doing. I don't say, fine, how are you? Then you say, good, glad to hear. Then that wastes 20 seconds.
Michael Savage.
Please don't ask me how I'm doing.
Follows Dr. Lord.
A, you don't know me. B, you don't care. C, I wouldn't tell you.
Weekdays 4 to 7 on Talk 650 KSTE. Sacramento's Talk Station. Talk 650 KSTE. River Cats Baseball on Talk 650 KSTE.
By bottom of the first, no score. As Mike Wood will face Alfredo Amezaga, Brian Gordon, and Rob Quinlan. Game number 6 on the year for the River Cats. They are 2-3. Woody 1-0. The area under 2, 1.80. As we said, he's making his second start. 5 innings, 5 hits, 4 runs, 1 earned. 1 walk, 4 strikeouts. Wood, actually, after the second inning of that game against Edmonton in Yuma, he really settled down. Here's Amezaga, switch hitter batting on the left side. Wood delivers a strike with a fastball, and it's 0-1. We'll set the River Cats for you defensively. Defensive alignment is brought to you by Noble Way Pest Control. Don't let bugs and rodents drive you away. Call the Knights of the Noble Way at 916-344-5220. The 0-1 pitch misses low and inside. It's now 1-1. Alfredo Amezaga hitting .250. No homers, 1 driven in. Stanley shaded a little bit towards left center. The 1-1 pitch. That's taken low. It's now 2-1. Dan Johnson is at first base. The second baseman is Adam Morrissey. Here's a 2-1 pitch off speed. That's chopped foul into the Salt Lake dugout on the first base side. It's 1-2. The shortstop, Mike Rouse, and at third base is Ramon Castro. With Matt Watson in left, Steve Stanley in center, Mike Edwards in right. Doing the catching, Mike Rose, and on the hill, the right-hander, Mike Wood. Here's the 2-2 pitch. That's bounced down to the first baseman, Johnson. He's up with it. He will take it to the bag himself, and there is 1 away. So 3 unassisted. 1 down. Johnson knew he had to hurry him. He's got his great speed. Here is Brian Gordon, the right fielder. Don't forget, 3 nights from tonight, April 16th, River Cats will have their home opener against the Edmonton Trappers. It'll be Sutter Health Fireworks and replica championship ring giveaway. A lot of surprises on opening night. Hope to see you there. The pitch from Mike Wood misses inside. It's 1-0. Brian Gordon, left-handed hitter. He was the hero last night. Came through with a game-winning single, driving home Amezaga. Here's a 1-0 pitch. Off speed, bounced on the right side. Under the glove of Johnson into right field for a base hit. Johnson did all he could. He moved about 8 feet to his right. And that'll be a base hit for Brian Gordon. And that'll bring up Rob Quinlan, the first baseman. Yeah, Johnson moving to his right. He tried to make that play on the short hop, and it went under his glove on the backhand side. Here is Rob Quinlan, the first baseman. Middle infield of Morrissey and Rouse in double play depth. Quinlan, slightly open stance. As the right-hander comes set in the pitch from Wood. That fastball misses low, and the count's 1-0. Wood out of North Florida. Former infielder. And you better be careful if you're Brian Gordon right now, because you don't find too many better pickoff moves than this guy has right here, Mike Wood. Right-hander to the plate, and the fastball on the outside edge for a strike, and it's 1-1. Gorgeous day, gorgeous night. Franklin Covey Field here in Salt Lake City, Utah. I know I wear you out talking about those Wasatch Mountains, but they are absolutely breathtaking. Right-hander looks in. And Wood to the plate, the 1-1 pitch. That's taken for a strike. Took something off it, and it's 1-2 on Quinlan. Mike Brumley coaching at third. And Jim Eppert, the hitting coach, he's over there at first. Third baseman Ramon Castro, about 15 feet behind the bag, 10 feet off the line. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Brian Gordon takes his lead. See if Wood goes over there to check on him. Right-hander, the high set, out of the plate. And the pitch. Fastball, taken, strike 3 called. A beautiful pitch on the outside corner. Quinlan didn't care for it, but it was a beautiful pitch. 2 outs, first strikeout for Wood. And leveling up the designated hitter, Adam Riggs. There's Riggs. We're in the bottom of the first, no score. Johnny Dosko with you. Tim DeStefano is our engineer. This is game 6 of an 8-game road trip. Wood over to first, and scaring back safely is Brian Gordon. Backing up a few steps is Mike Rouse. Rouse has not played in this series yet as the pitch taken outside from Wood, and the count's 1 ball and no strikes. Let's think about Wood. I mean, he so consistently around the plate, does such a good job in keeping the ball down, and he feels more effective getting that ground ball. He'd rather have more ground ball outs than strikeouts. It's when he knows he's really effective. Right-hander over to first. That wasn't that real good move that he has. Just a little show me move to Gordon. Want to know the count on Adam Riggs, right-handed batter, hitting .368 on the year. Crowd still filing in on this Tuesday night in Salt Lake City. Here's a 1-0 pitch. That's taken for a strike. Same spot, that outside corner. Just painting it. It's 1-1. Mike Brumley flashing some signs near the third base coaching box. Mike Wood looks in. Now the 1-1 pitch. That's bounced on the ground on 2 ups to Castro, the third baseman. He'll go the short way to second, and the inning is over. So Castro to Morrissey, 5-4 on the putout. No runs. He hit a man left. We're through an inning. Salt Lake nothing, and the River Cats nothing. Back with the top of the second in a moment on Talk 650 KSTE.
Borders, language, culture. These are his issues. Listen to Michael Savage. Afternoons 4 to 7, only on the Talk Station. Talk 650 KSTE. Talk 650 KSTE.
Unwired.
It's got to be cordless. Internet.
Are you listening? Is it better than M-Life?
Armstrong and Getty.
I was at the phone store the other day. I'm not kidding.
Check them out.
These young college punks were looking at my phone and giggling.
All the kids with their pierced nipples and their M-Life.
Yeah, exactly.
Go up to Jack like he's rode in on a mule.
Like I'm a gold panner who came down from the hills on his mule.
Wake up with Armstrong and Getty.
Keep your hands off my mule.
Mornings on the Talk Station.
Everybody wants to pet your mule.
Talk 650 KSTE. AAA affiliate of the Oakland A's.
The Sacramento River Cats.
On Talk 650
KSTE.
We go to the second inning. No score in the ball game. River Cats and Salt Lake Stingers. And it'll be Dan Johnson, Tom Wilson, and Mike Rose. Green delivers a strike on the outside edge to Johnson, and it's 0-1. Johnson 0 for 3 with a walk in the ball game yesterday. Left-handed hitter, 0-1 pitch. That swung a little slow roller, hit to the second baseman Specht. Brian scoops it up and throws him out, and there was one away. So 3 ground ball outs out of the 4 outs for the Canadian Steve Green. And that'll bring up the designated hitter, Tom Wilson. If you want your home to look picture perfect, visit the experts at any of the greater Sacramento area Frizzy paint and wall covering locations. You'll find quality paint, expert advice, and old-fashioned service. Steve Green takes a deep breath. Here's a right-hander's pitch to Tom Wilson. Fastball right down the middle for a strike, and it's 0-1. So both Steve Green and Mike Wood both have a reputation for pitchers that throw strikes, work quickly. Wilson, right-handed hitter at the plate with the big club, the Toronto Blue Jays, for most of 0-2 and 0-3. Pitch misses high, and the count's 1-1. Actually, all of 0-2 and 0-3. It's 1-1 on Wilson. No score, top half of the second inning. Here's a 1-1 pitch. That's taken for a strike on the inside edge, 1-2. I think it's refreshing to see a guy like Wilson, because here he was in the big leagues for 2 years. It took him 11 years to get his first taste of the big leagues in 2001. And the guy has a great attitude helping out the younger players. There's a 1-2 pitch. That's a fastball taken, strike 3 called. A good pitch on the outside edge. So Wilson strikes out. That's 5 straight retired by Steve Green to start off the ball game. And that'll bring up the catcher, Mike Rose.
Number 25, Mike Rose.
And I tell you, Mike Rose is a guy that appreciates that very much. Rose was talking about how good Wilson is. And they have a great communication between them. And Rose picking up things already from Tom Wilson, despite this being just the 6th game. Here's the pitch. That's, when they checked his swing. Did he go? Yes, he did. I think that's a good call. Frank Coughlin said he went. I didn't even think it was really worth an appeal. So 0-1 the count on Rose. Mike, 286, no homers, 2 driven in. 4 for his first 14. The 0-1 pitch. Breaking ball, that's taken for a strike. 0-2. Oh, what a job by Steve Green here in the early going. No score, top half of the second inning from Franklin Covey Field. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Breaking ball, it's bounced back to Green on one hop. The Canadian gloves it, jogs 6 steps, flips it underhand to Quinlan, and the inning is over. So Green has retired the first 6 River Cats he has faced. No runs, no hits, no errors, no one left. We're through an inning and a half. Sacramento nothing, Salt Lake nothing. Back with the bottom of the second, we return on Talk 650 KSTE.
When Glenn Beck talks, people listen and howl, cheer, or cry foul. Right after Armstrong and Getty at 10 each morning. Check out Glenn Beck, only on Talk 650 KSTE.
The enemies are at your gate, moron. They've knocked your door down. They want to burn your country to the ground. Idiot. Why don't you stand up and be a straight-up American like your grandfather was, you punk?
Michael Savage.
Shall I tell it to you another way? All these jerk-offs that I have to deal with every day. These weaklings, their minds have been warped by their socialist teacher. Why don't you just get with the program?
Golfist Michael Savage.
You sound like a pothead skateboarder or surfer.
This afternoon at 4 on Talk 650 KSTE. Nobody's talking. Talk 650 like Talk 650. Talk 650 KSTE. Exciting River Cats baseball. Here again is the voice of the River Cats, Johnny Dusko, on Talk 650 KSTE.
We head to the bottom of the second. No score in the ball game as Mike Wood out of his windup. The pitch to Alex Pelaez is taken for a strike, and it's 0-1. So Wood doing much of the same as he is throwing strikes as well. 0-1 on Pelaez, right-handed hitter, hitting .294 in the early going. The 0-1 pitch. That misses low and away, and it's 1-1. So 1-1 the count on Alex Pelaez, right-handed hitter, former Padre product. Pitch is swung on, hit down to the shortstop. Rouse up with it, throws to first in time, and there's one away. He didn't exactly swing at it twice. Has repeated myself, but it's a 6-3 put out. Here's Gary Johnson, the left fielder. Has three ground ball outs for Wood. Green has 4 ground ball outs. And here's Gary Johnson, big left-handed hitter, hitting .313, a home run, 1 driven in. Salt Lake Stingers wearing the white jerseys with the red letters and numbers. River Cats wearing the gray jerseys. As the right-hander's pitch is swung on line, drive center field. Steve Stanley coming up to make the catch, and there are 2 away. So Johnson hits a bullet, but fortunately right at Stanley. 2 outs. That's 5 out of 6 retired by Wood, and that'll bring up the center fielder, Barry Wesson. We're in the bottom of the second, no score. Last night, Salt Lake trailing 3-1 on a run in the 7th, 8th, and 9th to defeat the River Cats 4-3. Wood to the plate in the pitch. Fastball hit under the leg of Wood and into center field for a base hit. Almost got a piece of Wood. So Wesson single to center field. That's the second hit off Wood. And that will bring up the catcher, Tom Gregorio. But the Roseville Auto Mall is a proud sponsor of your River Cats, home to over 8,000 new and used vehicles. 16 dealers, 21 brands, 1 location. Eureka Road off I-80. We know what drives you. Tom Gregorio, right-handed hitter, as Wesson takes his lead from first in the pitch. Fastball in there for a strike. Hit the outside edge once again. The throw gets past Wood, but it's backed up by Morrissey. That could have been dangerous right there. Morrissey had to make that play on the backhand. Rose's throw got past Wood. Fortunately, the Australian there to back it up. 0-1 the count. Wood to the plate in the pitch. He checks his swing on a slider. Yes, he did. He did go, and it counts 0-2. So quickly 0-2 on Tom Gregorio, looking for his first hit of the young season. 0 for his first 3. Gregorio, 6'2", 200-pounder. He'll turn 27 in May. Cinco de Mayo from Staten Island, New York. Here's the 0-2 pitch. That's swung on, a blast to left field, hit well. Going back is Watson near the wall. He looks up, and it is gone.
That is the first home run of the year for Tom Gregorio.
So the home run by Gregorio didn't even look like that bad of a pitch. Gregorio went out and got it. A low pitch. And Gregorio golfed it out of the ballpark. And it is a 2-0 Stinger lead. And here is Brian Speck, the second baseman. So Wood to the plate in the pitch. That misses low, and it's 1-0. That's rare. I mean, Wood does not give up that many home runs. 2-0 Salt Lake here in the bottom of the second inning. There was no question off the bat that that was going to go. The 1-0 pitch, that's taken low. It's now 2-0 on Brian Speck. Speck to 368 on the year. Mike Wood out of a windup in the 2-0 pitch. That's swung on, a drive to right center. That's hit pretty well. Going back is Stanley, so is Edwards near the track at the wall. Looks up, and it's going to be off the wall. Into second base goes Speck, digging for 3. He's grounding third. He's going an inside the park home run, and he's going to make it. An inside the park home run. So back-to-back home runs by Gregorio and Speck. Speck hit it to the deepest part of the ballpark, the deepest part of right center. Hit it high in the air. No chance for Stanley. It bounced past Stanley. He fired it in and did not even hit the cutoff man. There was no chance. Even if he hits the cutoff man, Speck with great speed and was able to get the inside the park home run. And here's Alfredo Amezaga, the shortstop, as the pitch is taken for a strike, and it's 0-1. So back-to-back home runs, one out of the ballpark and one an inside the park job. And we have a 3-0 Salt Lake lead. Here's a 1-0 pitch. That's swung on, hit fouled. Goes into one of the suites to our left. And the count's now 0-2 on Amezaga. 3 runs, 3 hits for the Stingers. No runs, no hits for the River Cats. There's the 0-2 pitch. That's chopped foul outside first and down the line. I'll tell you what, Brian Specht showing outstanding speed on that inside the park home run, but he hit it a ton. 0-2 the count. There's the 0-2 from Wood. That's taken low and inside, 1-2. So a 3-run second for Salt Lake. Third baseman Castro in on the grass, the 1-2 pitch. That's hit foul behind home plate. And the count remains at 1-2 strikes. Tomorrow, a couple of break pitching prospects, Blanton and Jenks. Yeah, Joe Blanton and Bobby Jenks will go at it, same starting time. Here's a 1-2. Off speed, that's bounced toward the second baseman Morrissey, makes the play on the third hop, throws to first in time, and the inning's over. But 3 runs in the inning for Salt Lake. 3 runs, 3 hits, no errors, nobody left. We're through 2. Salt Lake 3, the River Cats nothing. Back with the top of the third after this on Talk 650 KSTE.
Take me out with the crowd. Buy me some peanuts and crackers.
Michael, I want to tell you, you are the funniest man ever.
Michael Savage.
I want to know why you're not on every radio station across America. I love you. You're so intelligent and your mind works.
So I'm really getting into your brain.
Well, I just got married and I don't have a job yet, and I sit listening to you every day from 4 to 7. I come home and I tell my husband everything you say, and sometimes I'm talking with a New York accent.
Michael Savage.
That's good. That's good.
The voice you can't ignore.
I want to be your personal promoter. You're turning our house into a Savage Nation.
Weekday afternoons at 4 on Talk 650 KSTE.
Your radio could drive you crazy.
The Talk Station.
What is it?
Daytime, nighttime, anytime.
Way to be strong, man.
You'll know it when you hear it. Talk 650 KSTE.
Remember, today you listen to Talk 650 KSTE.
Talk 650 KSTE presents the Talk 650 Connection, a safe way for singles to meet. Whether you're looking for a relationship or just want to have fun, you can choose from thousands of people like yourself. Call 1-866-544-9229. You'll be directed through personal ads and mailboxes to people with similar values and interests. You'll meet only the people who interest you. 1-866-544-9229. To open a free mailbox and hear voice ads from other singles. 1-866-544-9229. For the Talk 650 Connection. A member of the Telechat Network.
Sacramento, River Cats Baseball, AAA affiliate of the Oakland A's on Talk 650 KSTE.
All right, the first pitch to Matt Watson misses low. It's 1-0. 3-0 Salt Lake. We're in the top half of the third inning. Johnny Doska with you. Tim DeStefano doing the engineering. The 1-0 pitch. That's in there for a strike. A fastball on the outside part of the plate. It's 1-1. Watson hitting .227, 2 homers, and 5 driven in. So Steve Green has retired the first 6 he has faced. He leads 3-0 as the pitch. That misses low. It's now 2-1 on Watson. A little change up from Steve Green. Top of the third inning. A 2-run homer by Gregorio and an inside the park homer by Brian Specht. Here's a 2-1 pitch. Change up, a little dribbler it up along first. It'll be fielded by Green. Bare hands throws and gets him. Nice play. So 1-3 on the putout. That's 7 in a row retired by Steve Green.
Number 15, Adam Morrissey.
And that will bring up Adam Morrissey, the second baseman. Well, it's time now for Neighborhood Trivia, presented by State Farm Insurance. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Who broke Lou Gehrig's record for career home runs by a first baseman? And the Iron Horse had 493 home runs lifetime. And who broke the career home run record by a first baseman? We'll have the answer in the bottom half of this inning. Right-handed to the plate in the pitch. Fastball misses high and the count's 1-0. 1-0 on Adam Morrissey. Well, Thomas Jefferson's birthday today. Also Al Green. 1-0 pitch. Breaking ball misses low. It's 2-0. The brother made this calendar with famous birthdays, and those are the famous birthdays today. Thomas Jefferson and Al Green. I'm sure there are a few other ones as well. 2-0 pitch. That's taken high, and it counts 3-0 on Morrissey. Morrissey's hoping that his mom can make it out from Australia this year to see a ball game. Says his mom has not seen him play in 8 or 9 years. As the pitch misses low, ball 4, so Morrissey walks. A one-out walk issued at him, and that'll bring up the third baseman, Ramon Castro.
Ramon Castro.
Tony DeFrancesco, the skipper, flashing some signs down near the third base coaching box. It's like Michael Lockwood over there at first. So here's Castro. Rivercats have their first base runner of the ball game. In the top of the third inning, 3-0 Salt Lake. Here's a pitch. Fastball swung on line, drive down the right field line by Castro. That will fall in for a base hit. Playing it off the wall is Gordon. Into third base goes Morrissey. The throw to second base to get Castro. Not in time. It's a double for Ramon as Morrissey takes third, and the Rivercats are in business here in the third inning. So Castro with the double, his first double of the year. And that'll bring up Steve Stanley, the center fielder. Stanley grounded out to the third baseman Pelaez in the first inning. He's 0 for 1, inning 304 for the year. What a pleasant young man he is, and he was outstanding on the Heineken On Deck show. Great energy to him. Runners on second and third with 1 out. We're in the third inning of a 3-0 baseball game, but that tying run standing at home plate now. Steve Green, the high set in the pitch. That swung on and bounced toward the shortstop. This will score a run. Amaze got put that on the second hop. Alfredo fires to first in time, and there are 2 away. But scoring on the play is Morrissey. Give an RBI to Stanley, and the Rivercats now trail 3-1.
Mike Rouse.
Holding at second base is Castro with the play right in front of him. But Stanley with the RBI ground out, and here is Mike Rouse, the shortstop. 3 runs, 4 hits for the Stingers. 1 run, 1 hit for Sacramento. Right-hander Steve Green checks second. And the pitch. That fastball taken for a strike, and the count's 0-1. Now Steve Green, when asked why he's not playing hockey, he said, simply, you have to wake up at 5 a.m. for the workouts. I like to sleep in. Here's the 0-1 pitch. That fastball misses outside, and it's 1-1. And in baseball, you get to sleep in a little bit. Not in hockey. And that made my decision for him. Of course, he has a pretty good right arm, too. 1-1 the count. As Castro takes his lead from second. 1-1 pitch to Rouse. That misses outside. 2-1. Mike hitting .250 on the year. Rouse got some props from Todd Helton. Todd Helton was impressed with Mike Rouse. And the Rivercats played the Colorado Rockies on April the 4th. 3-1 the score. The Stingers are on top. We're in the top of the third inning. Right-hander checks second on the 2-1 pitch. Big swing and a miss. One hand coming off the bat. Off-speed pitch from Green. It's now 2-2. Steve Green stares into Tom Gregorio as Castro takes his lead. The 2-2 pitch. That's taken inside. Did not miss by much. A fastball. It's 3-2. Green thought it was strike 3. He was getting ready to get in the Salt Lake dugout. The right-hander looks a little excitable right now. Kind of bouncing around on that mound. Now finds the sound he likes. Here's the 3-2 pitch. That's swung on, hit on the ground toward the second baseman. Speck scoops it up, throws to first in time, and the inning is over. But the Rivercats do get a run on 1 hit, no errors, 1 man left. We're through 2.5. Salt Lake 3, the Rivercats 1. Back with the bottom half of the third after this on Talk 650 KST.
Nobody's talking like Talk 650. Armstrong and Getty.
This is a good topic, too. I'm glad you called.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Hi, what's on your mind? Lorraine, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm here.
Go ahead, Lorraine.
Are you?
You called us.
Okay, all right.
Good Lord. Off to a fast start today.
About your boil, get some boilies and sit in some hot water.
Armstrong and Getty.
You'll be fine.
Little boilies and sit in some hot water.
Yeah.
There you go.
Early mornings on the Talk Station. Talk 650 KSTE.
Good tip.
Okay, roll it.
There's a streak in all of us. You know what I'm saying? They're like shock dogs. Don't you understand?
Michael said.
Afternoons at 4.
I feel good. I'm giddy from it.
On Talk 650 KSTE. River Cats Baseball, nights and weekends on Talk 650. Talk 650 KSTE.
All right, Woody just threw a changeup in there for a strike. It's now 1-1 on Gordon. It'll be Gordon, Quinlan, and Riggs as a fastball from Wood. That's taken on the inside corner for strike 2. Now 1-2. Gordon, Quinlan, and Riggs, 2, 3, and 4 to face the right-hander Mike Wood. 1-2 pitch. That's in the dirt. Ball 2, 2-2. Gordon singled in the first inning, hitting .250 on the young season. We're at the bottom of the third, 3-1. Salt Lake leads it. Salt Lake trying to win 5 of their first 6 ball games. Wood, the leg kick, now the 2-2 pitch. That's chopped foul up along first. And they count 2 balls and 2 strikes. April 17th and April 18th, poster and youth wristband giveaway. Games 2 and 3 of the 4-game set against the Edmonton Trappers. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Off speed, swung a little lazy fly ball to right field. Coming up for it is Edwards. Mike will make the catch, and there is quickly one away. So 1 down in the third, and that will bring up the first baseman, Rob Quinlan.
Now batting for the Salt Lake Stingers, first baseman, number 17, Rob Quinlan.
Here's Rob Quinlan. Quinlan struck out looking in the first, hitting .450 on the year. With the answer to our State Farm neighborhood trivia question of who broke Lou Gehrig's record for career home runs by a first baseman? Yeah, Mark McGwire. Big Mac did. Ward out of a windup and the pitch to Rob Quinlan. That swung on, bounced on the left side. Making the play is Rouse to his right. Throws to first in time, and there are 2 away in the third. So 2 outs, that's 3 in a row after the inside the park job by Speck. Retired by Wood, and that'll bring up Adam Riggs, the DH. And that was neighborhood trivia brought to you by State Farm Insurance Agents Roxanne Duffield in Tahoe City and Brian Erkenbrack in Gold River. State Farm Insurance, like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Roxanne Duffield in Tahoe City and Brian Erkenbrack in Gold River. Your State Farm agents. Pitch swung on another ground ball down to short. Up with it cleanly as Rouse slings it over to first in time, and it's a nice, easy 1-2-3 inning for Wood. His first 1-2-3 inning of the contest. No runs, no hits, no errors, no one left. We're here 3. Salt Lake 3. And the River Cats 1. On the top of the 4th after this on Talk 650 KSTE.
Talk with Armstrong and Getty, Michael Savage, Dr. Laura, and Glenn Beck.
Talk to us about the things that matter to you most. Whatever's on your mind, no matter who the host. Got a question or a gripe or giving someone props. Doesn't matter cause the conversation never stops. Hit the buttons, dial the numbers, come on, don't be shy. Might be the only chance you get, so don't let it slip.
You do the talking.
I guess my concern is that
On the Talk Station, Talk 650. Talk 650.
Talk to us.
KSTE. The Talk Station. Talk 650 KSTE, Rancho Cordova, Sacramento. Talk 650 KSTE.
Bobby here.
Hi, this is Frank Gorge, and I'm the Riddler from Batman.
Gee, Wally, I gotta get going on account of the Armstrong and Getty show is on.
Prominently featured on the Armstrong and Getty show.
This is Al Lewis, Grandpa Munster.
It's our A-list of B-list celebrities.
This is Johnny Cochran. If they don't entertain, you must abstain. From the Armstrong and Getty show.
Hi, this is Chelsea Charms.
This is Bill Walton. Hi, I'm William Shatner.
Armstrong and Getty. Early mornings on the Talk Station. Talk 650 KSTE.
This station is proud to offer its listeners the ability to listen to this broadcast via the internet. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the stream. We'll be right back. Streaming media provided by LiquidCompass.net.
This is Sacramento River Cats baseball on Talk 650 KSTE.
All right, Mike Edwards will lead things off for the River Cats. It'll be Edwards, Johnson, and Wilson to face Steve Green. First pitch, fastball, misses low and inside, and it's 1-0. So 1-0 on Mike Edwards. Edwards flied out to the left fielder Johnson in the first inning, 0 for 1. Next pitch, that's foul back to the screen. It's 1-1. Top of the fourth inning, 3-1 Salt Lake. 3 runs, 4 hits for the Angel affiliate. 1 run, 1 hit for the A's affiliate. Edwards from Mechanicsburg, Pennsylvania. Here's a 1-1 pitch. That's taken outside. It's now 2-1. There's a 2-1 pitch. That's a fastball that misses low in the zone. It's now 3-1. Green with 1 walk and 1 strikeout, but 7 ground ball outs of the 9 outs. It's been impressive. Green out of a windup. Now the 3-1 pitch. That swung, a hard hit ball on the ground, but the second baseman Speck shifts to his right to scoop it up on the second hop, and he throws to first in time. There is 1 away. That's 8 ground ball outs for the Canadian, and that'll bring up Dan Johnson, the first baseman.
Now batting is the first baseman, number 29, Dan Johnson.
Here's Dan Johnson. Johnson grounded out to the second baseman Speck in the first inning. Speck already has 4 assists and an inside the park home run, having quite a night. As the pitch misses outside and low to Dan Johnson, and it's 1-0. Green works very quickly. He's out of a windup, and the 1-0 pitch off speed, taken for a strike. It's now 1-1. 1-1 on Johnson. Dan hitting .391 on the year. Here's a 1-1 pitch. Fastball misses outside. Now 2-1. Johnson, 12 RBIs already, and he had those 12 RBIs in 2 games. The 2-1 pitch that misses. Catches the outside corner for a strike. 2-2. A delayed call by Joe Judkowitz. 2-2 the count on Johnson. Left-handed hitter at the plate. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Fastball that misses outside. 3-2. So the right-hander Green has gone all the way to Dan Johnson with Tom Wilson waiting his turn on deck. This is game 6 of an 8-game road trip and game 2 of this 4-game set. Green steps off the rubber. Now the right-hander back on. Green waiting his turn to get up with the Angels. The 3-2 pitch that misses outside, ball 4. So Johnson walks. Second walk issued by Green, and that'll bring up the designated hitter Tom Wilson. That's the one thing. I mean, the Salt Lake Stinger pitchers walked 5 in that ball game last night, but that was nothing compared to the Edmonton Trappers. And what a debacle that was. They ended up walking, 30 for the series? Yeah, 30. 30 walks issued by Edmonton in that series in Yuma. Here's Tom Wilson with 1 on and 1 out. 3-1 the score. River Cats trailing. The fastball, that's in there for a strike. It's 0-1. Amazing with the 30 walks in the 4 games, and the River Cats still just got a split in that series. The River Cats, remember, one of those games, River Cats left 19 men on base. Here's the 0-1 pitch. That's taken outside. It's now 1-1. River Cats left 35 on in 2 games, 19 and 16. Tony DeFrancesco flashing the signs near the third base coaching box. 1-1 the count on Tom Wilson. Green over to first to keep an eye on Dan Johnson. Wilson with just about the same exact stance that we saw in 2001. They said he moves his hands just a little bit sooner than he did back then. He said the 2 years of big league experience and made some adjustments as the pitch misses low and the count's 2-1. Stingers with 3 in the second. The River Cats with 1 in the third. That's where we are in the fourth. 3-1 Salt Lake. Second baseman Specht, he's cheating towards second base. Here's the 2-1 pitch. That's a fastball taken on the outside edge for strike 2, 2-2. No question, Wilson, though, the veteran of this club, the oldest member of the Sacramento River Cats, and as he said earlier, I mean, he has really helped out some of the younger players already, especially Mike Rose. 2-2 the count. Johnson takes his lead, the 2-2 pitch. That's chased and missed. Down he goes. Got him on a fastball that tailed away from Wilson. That's the second strikeout for Green. And both times he has struck out Wilson. That'll bring on Mike Rose, the catcher. Rose bounced back to Green in the second inning, 0 for 1. Switch hitter batting from the left side as Green over to first to keep an eye on Dan Johnson. Amezga is pretty deep at short as the pitch to Rose is swung on and fouled to our left and out of play. Actually, it's the top of the roof of the stadium and bounces back to Tom Gregorio, the catcher. 0-1 on Mike Rose, hitting .273 on the season. Jesuit high. Steve Green, the high set. Now the 0-1 pitch. Fastball misses low, and it's now 1-1. Rose has made an adjustment with some of his footwork while in the batter's box. Right-hander over to first to keep an eye on Dan Johnson. You always hear that expression, stay quiet. Hear coaches talk about that all the time. Hitting coaches, stay quiet. Rose trying to stay as quiet as he can through that zone. Right-hander comes set. Now the 1-1 pitch. That's swung on, bounced on the ground towards Speck. The second baseman backs up, goes the short way to Amezga, and the inning is over. So Speck's been busy over there. 4-6 on the putout. No runs, no hits, a walk and one left. We're through 3.5. Salt Lake 3. The River Cats 1. Bottom of the fourth after this on Talk 650 KSTE.
Borders, language, and culture.
He's not new to big-time talk radio.
When they say to me, what do you really believe in with the Poor Revere Society in your show?
But he's taking over the nation.
Borders, language, and culture. They say, what does that mean?
The voice you can't ignore.
The Savage Nation.
And I tell them, close the borders. Get rid of the illegal alien. Make English the official language. There's no assimilation here. And recognize that the commonalities of our culture are what holds us together.
Michael Savage. The Savage Nation. Afternoons at 4 on Talk 650 KSTE. Talk 650.
I really love being controlled by others.
Michael Savage.
It's one of the things I really specialize in, is having people with lower IQs than I telling me what to do, especially when I can go to the bathroom.
Follows Dr. Laura.
I have like a criminal's personality in many ways. Don't get me wrong, I'm not a bad person. I don't like to be told what to do. I have a very rebellious streak since birth.
Savage. Get it.
Doctor I'd like to kill who pulled me out, yanked me by the head. And ever since then,
weekdays 4 to 7.
I've been fighting with the world.
On Talk 650 KSTE. Talk 650.
Remember, today you listen to Talk 650 KSTE.
River Cats baseball on Talk 650 KSTE.
We go to the bottom of the fourth inning, and Mike Wood will face numbers 5, 6, and 7, Pelias, Johnson, and Wesson. As Wood to the plate, and the first pitch from Mike misses low. It's 1-0. Now the White Sox defeated the Kansas City Royals today 12-5. Pelaez grounded out to the shortstop, Rouse, in the second inning. There's that pitch taken for a strike, 1-1. So 1-1 on Pelaez. Pelaez, Johnson, and Wesson, 5, 6, and 7. 3-1 Salt Lake, bottom of the fourth. Next pitch from Wood misses low and outside. And it's 2-1 on Pelaez. In the PCL, Tucson defeated Portland 7-6. Tucson now 4-1. 2-1 pitch. That's one line drive, base hit left field. So Pelaez hits a bullet to left field. And that will bring up the left fielder, Gary Johnson.
Is the left fielder, number 32, Gary Johnson.
Johnson lined out to the center fielder, Steve Stanley, in the second inning, 0 for 1. Middle infield and double play depth, Morrissey and Rouse. Here's the pitch. That's one line drive, base hit to right field. Edwards over to cut it off, rounding second base. Pelaez, he'll hold there as Edwards gets it in. So the Stingers in business now. Runners on first and second with nobody out. And that will bring up the center fielder, Barry Wesson. So 2 on, nobody out here in the bottom of the fourth inning. That's 6 hits off Mike Wood now. Wesson singled and scored in the second inning. Ramon Castro flashing the signs from into the grass at third base. A 3-run second for Salt Lake River Cats with 1 run in the third. The corners are in. Johnson and Castro, the middle infield and double play depth. Here's the pitch. Expecting bunt. As they do the wheel, Rouse was heading towards third. Morrissey towards second. Castro is coming in. It's a 1-0 count as the pitch misses low, and it's, as we said, 1-0. Barry Wesson singled and scored in that second inning. In that White Sox Royals game, Aaron Guile has hit his 3rd home run of the year. So speaking of Canadians, Guile with his 3rd home run. Tony Graffinito has hit his first. Angel Burrow has hit his first. Mike Sweeney has hit his first in that one. And Uribe has hit a home run as well. Next pitch is swung on and popped up. The infield fly rule called as Morrissey makes the catch about 15 feet from the first base line. And there was one away. So that's a big out. A pop up. One down. Here is Tom Gregorio, the catcher. We're in the bottom of the fourth. 3-1 Salt Lake. The A's lead 7-3. Jermaine Dye has hit his 3rd home run of the year. Tampa Bay and the Yankees postponed. Baltimore, Boston postponed. Here's the pitch to Gregorio. Fastball in there nicely for a strike. It's 0-1. 3-1 Salt Lake, bottom of the fourth here in Franklin Covey Field. In the 5th for the River Cats, it will be Watson, Morrissey, and Castro. Mike Wood looks in as Johnson and Pelaez take their leads. Now the 0-1 pitch. That's taken for a strike on the outside edge. And it's quickly 0-2 on Tom Gregorio. Gregorio had an absolute bomb in the second inning. And he hit what looked to be a pretty decent pitch from Wood. Sometimes you have to give the hitter credit, and that was one of those times. Right-hander looks in. Now the 0-2 pitch. That's taken outside. It just missed 1-2. Detroit in the bottom of the 8th, leading Toronto 5-4. Hinske has hit his 2nd home run of the year for Toronto. Expect a big year from Eric Hinske this year. After a tough year last year. Played with a broken hand for a while and finally got it taken care of. He still ended up with 45 doubles. Here's a 1-2 pitch. That's a fastball taken, strike 3 called. Great pitch on the outside corner. So Gregorio strikes out. He has some words for the home plate umpire, Joe Jutkovich. That's the 2nd strikeout for Mike Wood. 2 outs. And that'll bring up the second baseman, Brian Speck. That was a great pitch. So here's Speck. 3-1 the score. The River Cats trailing. Speck with an inside the park home run in the second inning. Wood from the first base side of the rubber looks in. Chance to get out of this mess after allowing back-to-back singles by Pelaez and Johnson. Here's a changeup that swung on and missed, and it's 0-1. Johnson from first base, and Pelaez from second. Mike Wood checks second base. Now the 0-1 pitch. That's chased and missed. 0-2. Now quickly 0-2 on Brian Specht. We'll have This Date in Baseball History coming up, brought to you by the Golden One Credit Union. Now Salt Lake came in a game up on Edmonton, a game and a half up on Portland, 2 games up on Tacoma. Here's a pitch. That misses low and inside. It's 1-2. Right-hander looks in as Johnson and Pelaez take their leads. Now the 1-2 pitch. Off speed, swung on a fly ball to left field. Watson going back, still going back near the track, and on the track makes the catch, and the inning is over. No runs, 2 hits, no errors, 2 left. We are through, 4 complete. It's the Salt Lake Stingers 3 and the River Cats 1. We'll have the top of the 5th after this on Talk 650 KSTE.
Welcome to the program.
Therapy's expensive.
My husband and I have some friends. We've had them for about 6 years.
Dr. Laura?
My question is regarding, I'm trying to make sure I'm doing the right thing for a 20-year-old.
Free.
What's on your mind?
Well, I've got a problem with my neighbor.
Dr. Laura.
4 years ago, the wife divorced the husband.
But how do I say it without...
Find your own words,
Afternoons.
sir.
My question is...
Right before Savage.
You're here to teach him.
On Talk 650.
You're his dad.
KSTE. Sacramento's talk station. AAA affiliate of the Oakland A's. The Sacramento River Cats. On Talk 650 KSTE.
We go to the top of the 5th inning with the River Cats trailing 3-1. It'll be Matt Watson followed by Adam Morrissey, and then Ramon Castro. They're 7, 8, and 9 to face the right-hander Steve Green. It was on this date in 1978. You know, this is beyond our This Date in Baseball history, but it was on this date in 1978 that the Reggie bar was out on the market. Reggie's Candy Bar out on the market. Steve Klauke said it's the only candy bar in history that when you take a bite out of it, it tells you how great it is. That's Steve Klauke's line. That's a classic. Here we go. The 5th inning. Matt Watson, the hitter. Klauke, the voice of the Salt Lake Stingers. Matt Watson bounced back to the pitcher in the 3rd inning. So you have to steal all my material. Fastball misses high, and the count's 1-0. 3-1 the score. The Stingers are on top. We're in the 5th inning. Here's a 1-0 pitch. That's taken inside. It's now 2-0. Well, here is our This Date in Baseball history, brought to you by the Golden One Credit Union, California's leading credit union. Watson, left-handed hitter. Here's the 2-0 pitch. That's chased and missed on a fastball, and it's 2-1. It's cooled down a little bit here at Franklin Covey Field. This date in 1883, Chester A. Arthur brings the National League's Cleveland Forest Cities to the White House, making it the first professional team to visit with the president in Washington. Here's a 2-1 pitch. Off speed, a beautiful pitch. Swung on and bounced down to the second baseman. Specht throws to first in time, and there is one away. Great changeup from Green. So another assist by Specht. He has 6 of them now. 1 away in the 5th, and that will bring up the second baseman, Adam Morrissey. Here's Morrissey. Morrissey walked and scored in the 3rd inning. We're in the top of the 5th, 3-1 Salt Lake. Here's the pitch. That's taken for a strike, and it's 0-1. This date in 1914, Major League Baseball returns to Baltimore as the first Federal League game is played, and with approximately 27,000 patrons on hand to watch the Terrapins beat Buffalo 3-2. Next pitch misses. It's 1-1. 1-1 the count on Adam Morrissey. Here's a 1-1 pitch. That fastball misses inside to the Australian. It's 2-1. 3 runs, 6 hits for Salt Lake. 1 run, 1 hit for Sacramento. Outfield straight away. Here's the 2-1 pitch. That's taken for a strike on the outside corner. It's 2-2. This date in 1963, Pete Rose triples off Pirate pitcher Bob Friend to collect his first Major League hit. Could go on to win the Rookie of the Year in 63. The 2-2 pitch. That's swung on, foul tip into the glove of Gregorio. Down he goes. So Green strikes out Morrissey. That's the 3rd strikeout for Green. 2 outs. Here's Ramon Castro, the third baseman. Well, that is our this date in baseball history. Yeah, Pete Rose is going to win that Rookie of the Year over Ron Hunt. Fairly close vote, but Rose won the Rookie of the Year over Ron Hunt. Here's a pitch. That's taken low. It's 1-0. Golden One Credit Union, proud sponsor of our This Date in Baseball History, and the official credit union partner of the Sacramento River Cats. There's a pitch swung a little too opposite to the third baseman Pelaez. He'll throw across the diamond in time, and the inning is over. An easy inning for Green. He's retired 5 straight and 8 of 9. No runs, no hits, no errors, no one left. We're doing 4.5. Salt Lake 3, Sacramento 1. We're at the bottom of the 5th after this on Talk 650 KSTE.
Talk 650 KSTE.
Talk to us about the things that matter to you most.
I just have a question about what do you do in a case like that?
What is that that's inside that man that knows that?
Whatever's on your mind, no matter who the host.
And he gave this sickening smirk. Yeah.
Got a question or a gripe or giving someone props.
This is the greatest thing I've seen. I look at life differently.
Doesn't matter because the conversation never stops.
You know, have a reason to put a gun on him.
Talk to us.
Armstrong and Getty.
I think they're still handling it with kid gloves and kind of brushing underneath the carpet.
Michael Savage.
Michael, what really happened on September 11th?
Talk to us.
And even Dr. Laura.
And it made me so sick, and I just thought, you know, what a jerk. You know?
I don't understand. Is he blind?
I guess my concern is that.
Talk to us. Hit the buttons, dial the numbers, come on, don't be shy. Might be the only chance you get, so don't let it slip.
You do the talking on the Talk Station. Talk 650 KSTE.
Talk to us.
Your place to talk with Armstrong and Getty. Dr. Laura, Michael Savage, and George Norrie late nights. Talk 650 KSTE. Exciting River Cats baseball. Here again is the voice of the River Cats, Johnny Dusko, on Talk 650 KSTE.
All right, well, Alfredo Amezaga takes inside to Mike Wood. It's 1-0. 3-1 the score. An easy 1-2-3 inning for Green in that 5th. As the 1-0 pitch to Amezaga. That's taken low. It's now 2-0. 3 runs, 6 hits for Salt Lake. 1 run, just 1 hit for the River Cats. That's the double by Castro in the 3rd inning. And in the grass at 3rd is Castro as Wood out of a windup. Now the 2-0 pitch to Alfredo misses high, 3-0. Wood has not issued a walk so far in the contest. Stingers getting a 2-run homer by Gregorio inside the park. Solo job by Brian Speck. The 3-0 right down the middle for a strike. It's 3-1. Amezaga hitting .227 so far in the young season. As Wood out of a windup, the 3-1 pitch. That's chopped fouled into the Salt Lake dugout. And they count 3 balls and 2 strikes. Actually at the top of the Salt Lake dugout and bounced high in the air and ended up in the first row. Nice catch from a lady down there. 3-2 the count on Alfredo Amezaga. Here's a 3-2 pitch. That's bounced down to the first baseman, Johnson. He's up with it. He'll take it to the bag himself. And there is 1 away. So 3 unassisted, 1 down. And that will bring up Brian Gordon, the right fielder. Well, Silver Legacy Resort Casino Arena presents Gallagher. It'll be April the 17th. For tickets, call 1-800-MUST-SEE or visit silverlegacy.com. Here's Brian Gordon. Gordon 1 for 2. And the Stingers, for the 3rd time in 5 games, they earned a victory in their final at bat. First pitch to Brian Gordon misses high. It's 1-0. They were down 4 in the 9th the other night as the pitch is lifted foul on the left side out of play. And it's 1-1. They scored 5 runs in the bottom of the 9th to defeat Fresno 5-4. Here's a 1-1 pitch. That's swung on and lifted down the left field line, slicing out of play. It's 1-2. And that was the 2nd time that they came from behind, came back in the bottom of the ninth to win the ball game against the Fresno Grizzlies. Might be another long year for the Grizzlies, starting off 1-4. Fresno at Edmonton, or at Yuma, I should say, playing Edmonton in Yuma. 1-2 pitch. Off speed, bounced on 2 hops to the second baseman, Morrissey. Adam up with it, throws to first in time. There are 2 outs in the 5th. That'll bring up the first baseman, Rob Quinlan.
Number 17, Rob Quinlan.
Here's Quinlan. Quinlan 0 for 2, struck out looking in the first, grounded out to the shortstop, Rouse in the 3rd. Tomorrow night, 7 o'clock, Heineken on deck, 7:15 first pitch. It'll be right-hander Joe Blanton for the River Cats against right-hander Bobby Jenks. 2 great prospects. Off-speed pitches, swung on and missed. It's 0-1 on Quinlan. Wood doing a nice job, although he trails 3-1 in this ball game. 0-1 pitch. Fastball in the outside corner for a strike. 0-2. River Cats have got some great pitching in this series so far. I mean, really, last night, Mario Ramos did a great job in his 4 innings. Gomes did solid work in his 3 2/3. Ramos had to come out with a pulled groin. The 0-2 pitch misses low. It's 1-2. Wood has done a nice job of keeping the Salt Lake hitters off balance in this ball game tonight. Changing speeds well. He's throwing strikes as usual. So able to get out of that 4th inning unharmed after allowing back-to-back singles to Pelaez and Johnson. Here's a 1-2 pitch. That misses low and away. 2-2. Here's the 2-2 pitch. That's bounced on the ground past Wood. Rouse gloves it on the run, throws to first in time. Nice play. Rouse moving toward the second base bag. Made a nice play on the run. So a 1-2-3 inning for Mike Wood. The Floridian has retired 6 in a row and 10 of his last 12. No runs, no hits, no errors, no one left. We're through 5. Salt Lake 3, the River Cats 1. Top of the 6th after this on Talk 650 KSTE.
The Talk Station. Talk 650 KSTE.
Fellas, how you doing?
Up antenna.
Hi, you guys.
Switch on.
Love your show.
Easy to work.
Armstrong and Getty.
Press talk button and broadcast from room to room.
Live from Studio C in the morning.
And even house to house.
Why don't you get a cork or something? It's really good for your butt muscles. You know why I have such a nice ass? From years of clamping hard down tight.
The Armstrong and Getty Show. Early mornings on the Talk Station. Talk 650 KSTE. He talks about the day's events with passion. He's winning some listeners and leaving some scratching their heads. Glenn Beck, 10 in the morning, right after Armstrong and Getty on Talk 650 KSTE. Talk 650 KSTE. Sacramento, River Cats Baseball, AAA affiliate of the Oakland A's on Talk 650 KSTE.
All right, the first pitch to Steve Stanley, taken for a strike. It's 0-1. Stanley grounded out to Pelaez at third base in the first and picked up an RBI ground out to Amaziga, the shortstop, in the third. Next pitch, off speed, swung on and missed. It's 0-2. 0-2 on Steve Stanley. Stanley hitting .292 on the young season. 7 for his first 24. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Fastball misses outside, 1-2. 3 runs, 6 hits for Salt Lake. 1 run, 1 hit for the River Cats. That's where we are in the 6th inning. the 1-2 pitch. That's a chopper bounced up the middle. Tough play for Amezga. Makes the play on the second up. On the run, throws the first in time. They get Stanley by a step. That's tough place to hit it. Alfredo Amezga, the shortstop, making the play. About as solid as they come. Another ground ball out for Steve Green. That is 12 ground ball outs for the Canadian. One away in the sixth. Here's Mike Rouse, the shortstop. Rouse has grounded out twice. Bounced out to the second baseman Specht in the first and the third. Mike hitting .222 on the year. Left-handed batter. Here's the pitch. Breaking ball in there for a strike. It's 0-1. Rivercats went 11-5 against Salt Lake last year. 0-1 pitch. That's taken in shy. 1-1. Overall 24-25 against the Stingers, but just 8-18 on the road all time against Salt Lake. Here's a 1-1 pitch. That's bounced on the ground on 2 ups to Specht, the second baseman, up with it from the outfield grass, throws to first in time, and there are 2 away. What a job. 13 ground ball outs for Steve Green. 2 outs in the sixth. That's 7 straight. And 10 of 11 retired by Steve Green. He's only allowed 1 hit. Masterful job by the right-hander. Here is Mike Edwards, the right fielder, who flied out to Johnson in left field in the first and grounded out to Specht, the second baseman, in the fourth. 3-1 Salt Lake. We're in the top of the sixth inning. From gorgeous Franklin Covey Field in Salt Lake City, Utah. Here's a pitch from Green. Fastball taken for a strike on the inside edge, 0-1. This is quite a performance by Steve Green. Because Mike Wood's pitching pretty well himself. But Green on absolute fire. Here's the 0-1 pitch. That's a fastball on the outside corner for another strike, 0-2. Green has struck out 3 in the game. He has walked 2. But it's the ground ball outs that have been impressive as the right-hander to the plate in the 0-2 pitch. That's bounced on 2 hops to Specht, the second baseman. Shifts a couple of feet to his right, makes the play and throws him out. Another ground ball out. That's 14. That's 8 straight retired by the right-hander Steve Green. No runs, no hits, no errors, no one left. We're doing 5.5. Salt Lake 3, Sacramento 1. Bottom of the sixth after this on Talk 650 KSTE.
There's really nothing else like him on the radio anywhere. He's Michael Savage. This is a talk show you're going to want to listen to every afternoon, 4 to 7. Only on Talk 650 KSTE. Talk 650 KSTE. Great Scott. Hey, check out who's listening to Armstrong and Getty.
I have this thing I do every single morning.
Yes. At 6 on the talk station.
When I get up in the morning, I have got to get to my car before you guys come on.
Are you listening?
No, it's huge.
I know.
Then I've got to get in my car and listen to you because I don't even want to drive to work if I can't hear you guys.
The Armstrong and Getty Show.
Whatever it takes to keep you on the air.
Early mornings on the talk station.
6 to 10.
And don't miss the Glenn Beck Show.
Weekday mornings at 10.
Right after Armstrong and Getty.
Talk 650 KSTE.
You're listening to Sacramento Rivercats Baseball on Talk 650 KSTE. Rivercats Baseball is brought to you by Silver Legacy Resort Casino Reno. Call 1-800-MUST-SEE or visit silverlegacy.com. Miller's Hot Dogs, the best tasting hot dogs and sausages in the world. And by State Farm Insurance. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Well, Riggs hits a ground ball down to the shortstop, Rouse, who moved to his right to make a nice play, and his throw threw Johnson off the bag. It'll be an error charge to Rouse, and here is Alex Pelaez. So Riggs aboard on the error. It was a nice play by Rouse to even smother that ball. But his throw just a little bit wide of the first base bag, and he just did pull Johnson off the bag. So it'll be an error charge to Rouse. And for Michael, that is his first error of the year. And here is Pelaez and Wood. A pickoff attempt at first. Very close play at first, but back in safely as Riggs. That was a good move. 3-1 the score. Salt Lake leads it. We're in the bottom of the 6th. Tony DeFrancesco needed 5 or 6 innings out of Mike Wood tonight. And Wood, well, he's in the 6th inning. Rivercats have managed just 1 hit off Green, an absolute gem. He is 14 ground ball outs, 8 of them to his second baseman, Brian Specht. There's Pelaez, 1 for 2, hitting .316 on the year. Wood over to first, and the ball gets away from the first baseman Johnson. He'll fire to second to try to get Riggs, not in time. That'll be an error charge to Wood, and now you have a runner on second base and nobody out. So E1, that's the second error of the inning and the game for the Rivercats. And now Pelaez will try to punch one on the right side and move Riggs to third base. Bottom of the 6th, 3-1 Salt Lake. Riggs takes his lead from second, and now Pelaez steps out. Wood checks second in the pitch. Here's a bunt by Pelaez, foul to the screen. It's 0-1. The tradition continues at Merlino's Freeze, now in 5 locations throughout the Sacramento region. 3200 Folsom Boulevard, Downtown Plaza Mall, Country Club Plaza, Folsom Outlets, and Raley Field. Merlino's Freeze and Rivercats Baseball, the coolest ticket in town. Pelaez, right-handed batter, 0-1 the count. 3-1 Salt Lake, bottom of the 6th. Riggs from second. And the 0-1 pitch. That's bounced on the right side. On the second out, Morrissey will glove it. He'll throw to first in time. There is one away, but Riggs goes to third. Great piece of hitting by Pelaez. A ball on the inside part of the plate. And he was determined to hit the ball on the right side, and he did. So one away. Here's Gary Johnson, the left fielder. So a man on third with 1 out. Pelaez executes. We'll see if Johnson can here. The infield comes in. Dan Johnson, Morrissey, Rouse, and Castro all come in with Riggs at third and 1 out. Gary Johnson, the left-handed batter, at the plate. 3-1 Salt Lake, bottom of the 6th. Mike Wood looks in. And now Mike Rose will go out there and chat with Wood. Another ground ball out. You know, Wood, he has some ground ball outs himself. Mike Wood with 10 ground ball outs. 14 ground ball outs for Green, so 24 for the 2 pitchers. Quite an impressive display. A couple of pitchers that do a good job of keeping the ball down. There we go. Mike Wood with Riggs at third base and 1 out. Johnson waving that bat back and forth to the left side. Here's the pitch. That misses low. A nice stop from Mike Rose, and the count is 1-0. Tomorrow night, 7 o'clock, Heineken on deck, 7:15 first pitch. Joe Blanton and Bobby Jenks. Bobby Jenks, the #1 pitching prospect in the Angel organization, and Blanton, the #1 pitching prospect in the A's organization. Here's a 1-0 pitch. That's taken inside. Ball 2, 2-0. Gary Johnson listed at 6'3", 210 from Atherton, California. 375 in limited action for the Anaheim Angels last year. The 2-0 pitch. That's taken maybe a little low. That looked like a pretty good pitch. And the count's now 3-0. Johnson hitting .333 for Salt Lake. Now they're just going to put him on. They try to get him fish for something, but he did not. So they'll just put him on now. So runners on first and third with 1 out. And that'll bring up the center fielder, Barry Wesson. Well, Kellogg Garden Products, a specific soil for every planting purpose. Kellogg, the official planting mixes of the Sacramento Rivercats. Maybe the field looks too good. Stingers with 3 in the second, the Rivercats with 1 in the third. That's where we are in the bottom of the 6th. 3-1 Salt Lake as Johnson and Riggs take their leads. Wood to the plate in the pitch. That swung on, a drive to center field, hit pretty well. It'll score a run. Stanley moving over to his left. He's under it. He makes the catch, tagging his Riggs. He'll come in and score as the throw comes into second. It's now 4-1 Salt Lake.
Catcher, number 15, Tom.
So the errors end up hurting the River Cats. It's now a 4-1 Salt Lake lead. Give Weston his second RBI of the year. And that'll bring up Tom Gregorio, the catcher. So man on first with 2 outs. 4-1. The Stingers lead. An unearned run allowed by Wood here. As Mike to the plate and the pitch to Gregorio taken outside is 1-0. Bottom of the 6th, 4-1 Salt Lake. In the top of the 7th, it'll be 4-5-6 Dan Johnson, Tom Wilson, Mike Rose. The River Cats will try to get something going offensively against Steve Green. It has been a tough climb for the River Cats in this ball game. Here's a 1-0 pitch. That's bounced on the left side. Tough play for Rouse. Backhands, goes the short way. The second throws it away. Rouse throws it into right field. Going to third base is Johnson. Holding it first, Gregorio. And it'll be the second error of the inning for Mike Rouse. So it should have been a 6-4 putout. Mike did a nice job of getting to that ball, much like the ball that Riggs hit, except this time he was moving to his right and not his left. But the throw to Morrissey went into right field, so he's 6. And now runners on first and third for Salt Lake. And here's Brian Speck. So 3 errors in the inning for Sacramento. And here is Speck, who is 1 for 2. With an inside the park home run and a fly out to the left fielder Watson. Gregorio from first, Johnson from third. Here's the pitch from Wood. That's taken low, 1-0. 4 runs, 6 hits, no errors for Salt Lake. 1 run, 1 hit, 3 errors for the River Cats. Wood bent over at the waist, looks in to get a sign from Rose. As Gregorio and Johnson take their leads, the 1-0 pitch. That's chopped foul to the on-deck hitter, and Alfredo Amazigan is 1-1. Speck hitting .381 in the young season. Speck young. I mean, Brian Speck, he's just 23 years old. He turned 23 in October. Resides in Colorado Springs. Non-roster invitee this year. Here's the pitch. That's bounced on the right side on 2 hops to Morrissey. Gloves it, throws to first in time. The inning is over. But the Salt Lake Stingers get a run without the benefit of a hit. There were 3 errors, a walk, and 2 left. We're through 6. Salt Lake 4, the River Cats 1. Top of the 7th after this on Talk 650 KSTE.
Life is a ball game.
Talk about it. Talk 650.
Remember, today you listen to Talk 650 KSTE.
The Sacramento River Cats on Talk 650 KSTE. River Cats baseball nights and weekends on Talk 650. Talk 650 KSTE.
4-1, the Salt Lake Stingers lead it as we go to the top of the 7th inning. It'll be Dan Johnson, Tom Wilson, and Mike Rose, 4, 5, and 6. All Steve Green has done is he has retired 8 straight. He's retired 11 of 12. He has retired 14 ground ball outs, 8 to his second baseman, Brian Speck. Here's Johnson, who is 0 for 1. Grounded out to Speck at second base in the second and walked in the 4th. Left-handed hitter. Here's the pitch from Green. Breaking ball in there for a strike, 0-1. So once again, getting ahead. And it's 0-1 on Dan Johnson. Green out of his windup in the 0-1 pitch. That's a fastball that misses away. It's now 1-1. Take a look at the home run leaderboard brought to you by KB Home. Calvin Pickering of Omaha leading the league in home runs with 3 as the 1-1 misses outside. 2-1. Ken Johnson tied with Pickering. He has 3. Peter Zaccolillo with 3 home runs as well with Oklahoma. That is our home run leaderboard brought to you by KB Home. KB Home welcoming more people home as Johnson, it's a fly ball to left field, hit pretty well. Going back forward as Johnson near the wall, looks up, and it is gone! A home run for Dan Johnson. He now leads the league in home runs with 4. So Dan Johnson going the other way, and the River Cats now trail 4-2. So give Dan his league-leading 4th home run of the year and his 13th RBI of the year. As Gary Johnson went back to the wall but had no chance. Dan Johnson showing his strength the other way. And we now have a 4-2 baseball game. And here's Tom Wilson, the designated hitter. Pretty good pop the other way from Dan Johnson there. We have a 4-2 ball game. Here is Tom Wilson, who struck out looking in the 2nd, struck out swinging in the 4th. So Green allows just his 2nd hit of the night. Both extra base jobs. Here's the pitch from Green to Tom Wilson. That misses outside. It's 1-0. 4 runs, 6 hits for the Stingers. 2 runs, 2 hits, and 3 errors for the River Cats. River Cats making all 3 errors in the bottom half of that 6th inning. Here's a 1-0 pitch. Breaking ball misses low. It's now 2-0. It's been a rarity, Green being behind like this. It's now 2-0. And now right-hander for the Stingers will get loosened up on the bullpen. Outfield straight away on Wilson. Here's the 2-0 pitch. Fastball misses high. Now 3-0. So 3-0 on Wilson. We're in the 7th inning, 4-2 Salt Lake. Here's the 3-0 pitch. That's taken for a strike. 3-1. Outfield straight away. And Steve Green out of his windup. Here's the 3-1 pitch. That swung on and banged into right field for a base hit. So Wilson a sharp single to right. And the River Cats have back-to-back hits off of Steve Green here.
Number 25, Mike Rose.
And we have the pitching coach, Rich Bombard. He's going out there to check on the right-hander. Mike Rose suddenly represents the tying run. So the River Cats now have 3 hits in the ball game. They had 1 hit coming into this inning. And there is a right-hander. I believe that's Scott Dunn loosening up for the Salt Lake Stingers. Dunn worked last night. Dunn ended up working an inning in the 3rd last night. Correction, last night I said James worked 5 innings. He actually worked 4 2/3 innings, allowing his 3 hits and 2 earned runs. There we go, 4-2 the score. River Cats trailing, but the tying run is at home plate and Mike Rose. Rose bounced back to the pitcher in the 2nd and grounded out to Brian Speck, the 2nd baseman, in the 4th. Here's the pitch. That's a fastball taken for a strike. It's 0-1 on Rose. Holding on, Tom Wilson at first is Rob Quinlan. Here's the 0-1 pitch. That's taken outside. Now 1-1. So 1-1, the switch hitting Mike Rose from Elk Grove. In his 10th year of professional baseball, first year was 95, he caught a perfect game from Eric Ireland in the Florida State League. Eric Ireland, former River Cat. 1-1 pitch. That fastball misses high, 2-1. And this is not the same Steve Green that we saw the first 6 innings. He is struggling. 2-1 the count on Mike Rose. Rose hitting .261 on the year. Actually, it's Dusty Bergman. Dusty Bergman, the right-hander, loosening up in the bullpen for the Angel AAA club. Dusty Bergman, 2-1 the count on Rose. Wilson takes his lead from first. Here's the 2-1 pitch. Fastball misses high, 3-1. So he's gone a 3-1 on Rose. Tony DeFrancesco flashing some signs near the third base coaching box. Great to have you with us on this Tuesday night. Johnny Doska with you. Tim DeStefano doing the engineering. Wilson takes the lead. The 3-1 pitch is taken for a strike on the inside edge. 3-2. I don't think Rose cared for that call. He'll take a little walk. 3 balls, 2 strikes, and nobody out. Here in the 7th inning of a 4-2 game. Dan Johnson with his 4th home run. And for the River Cats, that is their 7th home run of the year is the 3-2 pitch taken low, ball 4, he lost him. And the River Cats now have first and second with nobody out for Matt Watson, and we'll see if that's all for the right-hander Steve Green. They give the signal that Dusty Bergman is ready, and we'll see if the skipper, I should say Mike Brumley, makes the change. Here is Matt Watson, the left fielder, and that will be all for Steve Green. So Steve Green did an outstanding job, but ran out of gas here in the 7th. And he looks to the sky in frustration as Mike Brumley going out there to make the change. So we'll take a 90-second break. It is a 4-2 Sacramento deficit, I should say. But the River Cats have the tying run at first and the go-ahead run at home plate. Green will get a nice ovation, and deservingly so here. 4-2 the score. We'll tell you about Dusty Bergman in 90 seconds. River Cats trailing by 2 on Talk 650 KSTE.
Michael Savage.
You're all afraid of your children.
The voice you can't ignore.
If the kid comes home with baggy jeans, burn them.
The Savage Nation.
How cute. He's wearing baggy jeans. He looks like a little crack runner.
Savage.
And listen to the nice music he's listening to, Martha.
Savage.
I'm going to kill a white boy and hang them by the neck. I'm going to break their back. I'm going to call a crack. I'm going to break their neck. I'm going to hit that hole. Take that hole and break a nose. Idiots. White punks with pimples on marijuana.
Come on. Got it yet? Michael Savage, 4 to 7 on Talk 650 KSTE. Talk 650.
Remember, today you listen to Talk 650 KSTE. Remember, today you listen to Talk 650 KSTE.
On Talk 650 KSTE.
River Cats with 7 home runs, and those 7 home runs, it really means $350 that Sutter Health has donated to the March of Dimes to help knock out premature births. So that's we have 7 total home runs for $350. That's Sutter Health donating the $50 for each home run to the March of Dimes to help knock out premature births. We're at $350 now. Here we go. Matt Watson is the hitter. 4-2 the score. River Cats trailing by 2, but that tying run is at first base in Rose. The go-ahead run at home plate and Matt Watson. Here's Hensley. Hensley making his 3rd appearance. 4 innings, 1 hit, no runs, 1 walk, and 3 strikeouts. Right-hander comes set. He checks second. And Matt Hensley to the plate, the pitch. That's a fastball that's fouled back to the screen. It's 0-1. River Cats, the run here in the 7th. Stingers with 3 in the 2nd, 1 in the 6th. River Cats with 1 in the 3rd and 1 here in the 7th, and still threatening here in the 7th. Rose from first, Wilson from second base. The right-hander comes set. And the 0-1 pitch. That's taken a little high. It's 1-1 on Matt Watson, left-handed hitter at the plate. Matt Watson, 0 for 2, hitting .208 on the young season. Left-handed batter from Pennsylvania as Rose and Wilson take their leads. And the 1-1 pitch from Hensley. That's chased and missed, and it's 1-2. Hensley out of the bullpen. He was on the same high school team as Aaron Harang. The two are very close friends. They pitched against each other last year. Hensley was a starting pitcher last year for Salt Lake, but now coming out of the bullpen. 1-2 the count on Watson. Runners take their leads. Hensley the high set. And the right-hander's 1-2 pitch. That's swung on and missed. Oh, so he just did get a piece of it. Excuse me. Count remains at 1-2. So Watson's still alive. River Cats with 2 on and nobody out here in this 7th inning. Glad you've joined us here on this Tuesday night. Tomorrow will be Game 3 of the 4-game set and the 7th game of the 8-game road trip. Rose and Wilson once again take their leads. As the right-hander comes set, now he steps off. Now Hensley back on the rubber. And the 1-2 pitch. Here it comes. And that's chased and missed on a changeup. Down he goes. He pulled the string beautifully. So 1 out, and that'll bring up the second baseman, Adam Morrissey.
Adam Morrissey.
Morrissey is 0 for 1. He walked and scored in the 3rd, struck out swinging in the 5th. Well, Comcast makes it easy to enjoy some of the best high-definition premium and local broadcast programs available, like ESPN in high definition, with a crystal clear high-resolution image and CD quality sound. It's a whole new way to see your world. That was then. This is Comcast. So here's Morrissey hitting .286 on the year with 2 on and 1 out. Hensley checks second, and the pitch. That's a changeup that misses inside. Ball 1, 1-0. How about Dan Johnson leading the league in home runs now with 4? Right-hander checks second. Checks twice. Now the 1-0 pitch. That's hit to our right. Foul ball out of play. And it's now 1 ball and 1 strike on Adam Morrissey. Rose takes the lead from first. Quinlan playing well behind him. Wilson takes his lead from second base. Matt Hensley taking a long time and now finally finds a side he likes. Here's the 1-1 pitch. That's hit foul on the right side out of play. That'll bounce from one of the top rows in the second level to the first row of the second level. Nice catch from a fan who brought his glove. And it's now 1-2 on Morrissey. Hensley stares in. 4-2 the score. The Stingers are on top with 2 on and 1 out. The 1-2 pitch. That slider misses low and away. It's now 2-2. So 2-2. Hensley. Yeah, he had some battles with Aaron Harang last year. The two faced one another. Hensley not on the 40-man roster for the Anaheim Angels. As he looks in, he's from San Diego. Here's the 2-2 pitch. That's taken high. Ball 3, 3-2. Hensley was a non-roster invitee this year. Hensley 8-12 in Salt Lake, 4.89 ERA last year. 49 walks, 85 strikeouts. He's gone all the way to Adam Morrissey. Rose from first, Wilson from second. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. 4-2 Salt Lake. Hensley the high set. And the 3-2 pitch. That's taken. Strike 3 call. Down he goes. And Morrissey knew it. So Hensley strikes out Morrissey on a fastball. 2 outs. And that'll bring up Ramon Castro, the third baseman. How about this for relief pitching? He strikes out Watson, strikes out Morrissey, and now he faces Castro with 2 outs and 2 on. And Castro 1 for 2, doubled in the third, bounced out to the third baseman. Pelaez in the 5th. 4-2, the Salt Lake Stingers lead it here in the top of the 7th inning. Hensley comes set, and the pitch. That's taken for a strike on 1. Castro, right-handed hitter. Now, it's a shame about Ramos last night because it affects everything. I mean, Ramos coming out of that game, Ramos was really on pace to go 6 innings in that ball game last night. He was pitching very well. And the amazing thing is, I mean, he got that groin pull on the last pitch that he threw for the Rivercats, that last pitch of the 4th inning. Right-hander checks second. And the 0-1 pitch. Off speed, swung on and lifted to center field. He's going to get out of it. Wesson under it, and he makes the catch. And the Rivercats unable to capitalize. They had 2 on and nobody out. They do get a run on that Johnson homer. 1 run, 2 hits, a walk and 2 left. We're through 6.5. It's the Salt Lake Stingers 4 and the Rivercats 2. Back with the bottom of the 7th after this on Talk 650 KSTE.
Talk 650 KSTE, Rancho Cordova, Sacramento. Talk 650 KSTE. Back to school, we take you for those good old lessons of social engineering with your tutor, Dr. Laura.
Don't blame it all on me.
Your resource for all your domestic management needs.
It's not simplistic, it's clarity.
And don't forget the household tips.
Catch more flies with honey.
Yeah, I know, I've heard that one.
It's homespun fun.
Yeah, I'm glad you said it. I don't want to be held accountable for that.
Your daily dose of higher learning.
Hope you're taking notes, Teresa.
The Dr. Laura Show, Monday through Saturday, 9 till noon on Talk 650 KSTE. Talk 650 KSTE.
Are you ready? Yeah! I love it.
You'll know it when you hear it. Sacramento's Talk Station.
Remember, today you listen to Talk 650 KSTE.
The world is a dangerous place.
There are several trains that have been exploded to bits.
And it just got a lot more dangerous.
A nation can survive its fools.
Michael Savage.
But it cannot survive treason from within.
He'll help you make sense of it all.
The traitor appears not a traitor. He speaks in accents familiar to the victims. And he wears their face in their arguments.
Michael Savage, the voice you can't ignore. Afternoons at 4 on Talk 650 KSTE. 650 KSTE.
All right, Mike Wood going out to pitch the 7th inning. As Wood will face Amaziga, Gordon, and Quinlan. Amaziga runs up as if to bunt, pulls away, takes high. It's 1-0. So 1-0 the count on Alfredo Amaziga. Amaziga 0 for 3. Bounced out to the first baseman Johnson in the first. Grounded out to Morrissey at second base in the second. Bounced out to Johnson again in the fifth. It's a line drive past the diving Johnson into right field for a base hit. Edwards over to get it. He throws it in, so it's a single for Amaziga. Lead off the 7th. And that'll bring up Brian Gordon, the right fielder. So here's Gordon. Gordon 1 for 3. Singled in the first. Flied out to the right fielder Edwards in the third and grounded out to Morrissey, the second baseman, in the fifth. So he's 1 for 3. That's the 7th hit off Wood in the ball game. Wood has pitched a good game, but he trails 4-2 here in the 7th. Wood over to first. Keep an eye on Alfredo when Amaziga gets back. Shame to just come out with 1 run in that 7th after a home run by Dan Johnson. Rivercats got a single from Wilson, a walk from Rose, and that was it. Matt Hensley took over for Green and shut the door. I mean, struck out Watson, struck out Morrissey, and induced Castro. A lazy fly ball to center field. 4-2 Stingers were in the bottom of the 7th. Some action now in the Rivercat bullpen. I mean, this is great for the Rivercats. Wood working into the 7th inning of this game. Right in over to first, and not in time. I'll tell you, close play at first. Amaziga back in safely. Right-hander Justin Lear beginning to loosen up in the bullpen for Sacramento. Here's the pitch. They pitch out and nothing going. It's 1-0 on Gordon. Bryant hitting .222 on the year. River Cats 7th inning stretch brought to you by your greater Sacramento area Subway restaurants, featuring their new Atkins friendly wraps. They also have salads and 7 subs with 6 grams of lesser fat. So your local Subway restaurant with the tasty details. Subway, eat fresh. 1-0 the count on Gordon. Left-handed batter. Here's the pitch. That swung on and lifted to shallow center field. Stanley had trouble finding it. Now Steve does. Still having trouble now and does again and finds it. Makes the catch for the out. Stanley twice mislocated that baseball, but twice was able to come up with it. And good communication. Watson talking to him the whole time. So Stanley makes the catch. 1 away. Here's Rob Quinlan, the first baseman. Quinlan 0 for 3, struck out looking in the first, grounded out to the shortstop Rouse in the third, and once again to Rouse in the fifth. 4-2 Salt Lake. We're in the bottom of the 7th inning. Quinlan, a right-handed hitter, 1 on, 1 out, and Wood over to first, and back in safely head first is Amaziga. 4-2. We're in the bottom of the 7th inning here from Franklin Covey Field in Salt Lake City, Utah. Glad you could join us here on this Tuesday night. Johnny Doska with you, and Tim DiStefano doing a great job engineering as Wood at the plate in the pitch. Fastball misses low. It's 1-0. When you think of paint, think of Frazee. Visit the pros in any of the 4 Sacramento area Frazee paint and wall covering locations. You will find quality paint, expert advice, and old-fashioned service. Middle infield and double play depth. Rouse and Morrissey. As Wood comes set, and the right-hander over to first, and once again Amaziga back in safely. Wood doesn't mind the boos. He'll throw over to first all day. He really kind of eggs him on to throw over to first more when he hears the boos, he says. We're in the bottom of the 7th, 4-2 Salt Lake. As Wood comes set, and the 1-0 pitch. The runner goes on a ground ball back to Wood. Great play. Has only one play. That's the first where he throws in time. And there are 2 away. Amaziga takes second. That's an outstanding play by Mike Wood. Cat-like reactions. Able to make that play. That was a shot hit by Quinlan. So 2 outs. Here's Adam Riggs, the designated hitter. 4-2 Stingers, bottom of the 7th. Riggs 0 for 3. Grounded out to the third baseman Castro in the first. Bounced out to Rouse and short in the third. Reached on a Rouse error and scored in the 6th. Runner at second base. Amaziga takes his lead. Here's the pitch from Wood. That misses low. 1-0. Mike Wood has pitched a great game tonight. He really has. Unfortunately, Steve Green pitched a little bit better. Green went 6 innings, allowed just 3 hits and 2 runs. As Wood checks second in the pitch. That's taken outside. It's 2-0 on Riggs. Justin Lear was up 3 or 4 times, but never got in the ball game last night. 2-0 the count on Riggs. There's the pitch. That swung on and chopped foul outside third and down the line. And it's 2-1 on Riggs. In the River Cats half of the 8th, it'll be Steve Stanley, Mike Rouse, and Mike Edwards. Pretty good crowd on hand here at Franklin Covey Field. Here's the 2-1 pitch. That swung on and foul tipped into the glove of Rose, and it's now 2-2 on Adam Riggs. Riggs, former Dodger prospect at one time. They hit a monstrous year in San Bernardino one year in the Cal. He hit .362. Now stepping out of the batter's box. River Cats lose this game, they will have lost 4 of their first 6 ball games. Wood checks second in the pitch. That's taken low. Now 3-2 on Riggs. Hope to see you at the ballpark Friday night. River Cats take on the Edmonton Trappers. We're going to have a lot of fun on championship ring. Or replica championship ring giveaway, I should say, is the 3-2 pitch. That's taken outside. It just missed. Wood wanted it. It was a close pitch and a tough pitch to take with 2 strikes. And that'll be all for Mike Wood. But an outstanding job by Mike Wood. He went 6 2/3 innings in this game. And we'll have a new pitcher. Looks like Lear will come in for the River Cats. We'll have a Sure West Wireless call to the bullpen, or will we? Has he made the signal? He has. We'll take a break. Our Sure West Wireless call to the bullpen. 4-2 the score. The River Cats are trailing, and the Salt Lake Stingers have 2 on with 2 outs. 4-2 the score. Stingers lead it on Talk 650 KSTE.
Talk 650. Talk 650 KSTE. AAA affiliate of the Oakland A's, the Sacramento River Cats, on Talk 650 KSTE.
All right, Justin Lear, the new pitcher, our Sure West Wireless called to the bullpen. Sure West Wireless, the lowest flat rate in town, with plans starting at $29 a month. So Lear taking over here. Lear will face Pelaez here. Wood responsible for Riggs at first and Amazing at second. 4-2 Stingers. We're in the bottom of the 7th inning. As Lear at the belt and the right-hander's pitch. That swung a bounce to the left side and through for a base hit. Rounding third base, Amaziga. Up with it is Watson. The throw will be cut off as Amaziga scores. It's now 5-2 Salt Lake. So Pelaez, the RBI single. Taking second base is Adam Riggs. So get Pelaez his 4th RBI of the year. And here's Gary Johnson, the left fielder. So you still can't quite close the book on Wood yet. Still responsible for Riggs at second. It's 5-2 Salt Lake here in the 7th. And here's Gary Johnson, who is 1 for 2 with a walk. 5 runs, 8 hits for Salt Lake. 2 runs, 3 hits, and 3 errors for the River Cats. As the right-hander, Justin Lear, stares in. Pelaez from first, Riggs from second. Lear at the belt and the right-hander's pitch. Fastball, that's hit foul down the left field line toward the River Cat bullpen. And the count is 0-1. So the walk to Riggs, and that was a borderline pitch. Very close pitch that Riggs walked on here in the 7th. Remember, in the 8th, it'll be Stanley, Rouse, and Edwards, top of the order, to face Matt Hensley. Justin Lear at the belt. And the 0-1 pitch. That misses inside. It's 1-1. Graham Kuntz will join the ball club, I believe, on Friday the 16th. Should be in the lineup that night. Nick Swisher very close as well. Gary Johnson, left-handed hitter. River Cats trail by 3 again. They trailed 4-1. They got to 4-2 in the 7th. Big opportunity in the 7th that was wasted, leaving 2 men on base. Here's a 1-1 pitch. That swung on, a fly ball to right center, hit pretty well. Going back for it is Edwards, and the center fielder Stanley. It will be Stanley to make the catch in right center, and the inning is over. But the Salt Lake Stingers get their run back. 1 run, 2 hits, a walk, and 2 left. We're through 7. Salt Lake 5, the River Cats 2. At the top of the 8th, and Stanley, Rouse, and Edwards after this on Talk 650 KSTE.
Jack Armstrong and Joe Getty inviting you to start your day with the Armstrong and Getty Show.
Unlike anything you've ever heard before, and not in a good way.
We kid. It's good. It's the issues that really matter to you.
Jobs, dating, sex, TV, marriage, kids, money, society, and those rotten, stinking, thieving politicians.
But we don't take any of the above very seriously, including ourselves. Tune in for a laugh on Talk 650 KSTE.
It's all talk. It's all Encompass it, and it's all Savage. Weekdays at 4 on Talk 650 KSTE.
Remember, today you listen to Talk 650 KSTE.
Death metal chainsaw music. Not here, you don't. This is Sacramento's Talk Station.
We must follow no other course.
Talk 650 KSTE.
Sean, good morning. You realize
Good morning.
front page of USA Today. All right, Michael. Well said. That's exactly what I told you.
Your whole show today has been about my life.
Now listen to this.
Oh, this is going to be good.
I'd rather shoot myself.
My sweet white hiney. I agree. What Joe said. You're both crazy.
Armstrong and Getty.
Hi, guys. Love your stuff.
You've never heard talk radio like this before.
If that's the soup, I'm having the salad in a roll.
Wake up with Armstrong and Getty.
Right here.
Early mornings on the Talk Station. Talk 650 KSTE. Exciting River Cats baseball. Here again is the voice of the River Cats, Johnny Tosco, on Talk 650 KSTE.
All right, top of the 8th we go. It is a 5-2 Salt Lake lead. And in the 8th, it'll be Stanley, Rouse, and Edwards to face the right-hander Matt Hensley. 5 runs, 8 hits for Salt Lake. 2 runs, 3 hits, and 3 errors for Sacramento. There's Stanley 0 for 3. He's grounded out 3 times, but one of those, an RBI ground out. He picked up in the 3rd inning. His first RBI as a River Cat this year is Matt Hensley. Did a great job getting out of that 7th inning unharmed. Comes to the plate, and the fastball swung hit on the ground on the left side. On one hop, Amazigal will gobble it up. The shortstop will fire over to Quinlan at first, and there is one away. So 4 ground ball outs for Stanley. Rouse has grounded out 3 times. River Cats have grounded out 15 times in the contest. And here's Mike Rouse, the shortstop. Rouse has grounded out to Speck, the second baseman, 3 times in the 1st, 3rd, and 6th. So the Salt Lake Stingers 5 outs away from going to 5-1 for the year. Right-hander stares over the glove and now out of his windup. And the pitch to Rouse. That misses low and inside. It's 1-0. Rouse, a left-handed batter from San Jose. Pelaez, he moves the bag at 3rd, and the pitch. That's taken for a strike at the knees. It's 1-1. Actually from a town a little bit south of San Jose, near, I believe it's near Gilroy, the garlic capital of the world. The 1-1 pitch. Misses inside 2-1. How great is it when you're driving on the 152 and just getting close to Gilroy and you finally smell that garlic? Man, is that a great smell. The smell of garlic. How great is garlic, by the way? 1-1 the count on Rouse. Right-hander takes a deep breath out of a windup. Now the 2-1 pitch from Hensley. That swung on, a drive to right field, hit well. Going back is Gordon near the track. He just looks up, and it is gone. A solo homer for Mike Rouse, and the River Cats now trail 5-3. So give Rouse his first home run and first RBI of the year for the River Cats, and we now have a 5-3 baseball game. And for the River Cats, that is their 8th home run as a ball club, which means that is $400 that Sutter Health has donated to the March of Dimes to help knock out premature births. So $400 now Sutter Health has donated to the March of Dimes. And it's a 5-3 game. Here's Mike Edwards, who is 0 for 3. River Cats down by 2 once again. Now Rouse showing his pop as he hits it over the right field wall. And here is Edwards as Edwards takes a strike. It's 0-1. 5 runs, 8 hits, no errors for the Stingers. 3 runs, 4 hits, and 3 errors for the River Cats. Here's the pitch. That swung on, a towering fly ball to left field that will stay in the baseball park. Gary Johnson comes in a couple of steps, a couple more now, and makes the catch, and there are 2 away. So 2 outs in the 8th. And that will bring up the first baseman, Dan Johnson.
Number 29, Dan Johnson.
So here's Johnson. Dan is 1 for 2. He bounced out to the second baseman, Specht in the 2nd, walked in the 4th, and hit a solo homer in the 7th. Johnson with 4 home runs already in the first 6 games. Here's the pitch from Hensley. Off speed, taken low. It's 1-0. So a 5-3 game. River Cats trying to scrap their way back. Need some base runners now with 2 outs in the 8th. 1-0 pitch. Fastball in there for a strike. It's 1-1. Remember, tomorrow night, great pitching matchup. It'll be Joe Blanton against Bobby Jenks. It'll be game 3 of this 4-game set. Here's the pitch. There's a bouncer on the left side. Amazing. Makes the play on the third hop. Slings it to first in time, and the inning is over. Rivercats get a run back. 1 run, 1 hit, no errors, nobody left. We're through 7.5. Salt Lake 5, Sacramento 3. Back with the bottom of the 8th after this on Talk 650 KSTE.
Remember, today you listen to Talk 650 KSTE.
He's young, hip, and maybe just a little nuts. He's Glenn Beck at 10 in the morning right after Armstrong and Getty. Only on Talk 650 KSTE.
Remember, today you listen to Talk 650 KSTE.
Michael Savage, the voice you can't ignore.
Get with the program.
Don't miss Michael Savage.
I love it.
Afternoons at 4.
That's right.
On Talk 650 KSTE. You're listening to Sacramento Rivercats Baseball on Talk 650 KSTE. Rivercats Baseball is brought to you by Comcast. That was then. This is Comcast. Sure West Wireless. Sure West, the lowest flat rate in town. Plans start at $29 a month. And by Kellogg Garden Products. Kellogg, the official planting mixes of the Sacramento Rivercats.
All right, Justin Lear in the bottom of the 8th worked to Barry Wesson here in the first pitch. Fastball misses low. It's 1-0. It'll be Wesson, Gregorio, and Speck 7, 8, and 9. 5-3 Salt Lake. We're in the bottom half of the 8th inning. In with the bag at third is Ramon Castro. He's about 8 feet off the line. As Lear looks in, Weston 1 for 2 with a sacrifice fly. As Lear's 1-0 pitch. That misses high. It's 2-0. Attendance 3,651. 3651 the attendance tonight. 2-0 the count on Barry Wesson, former Astro product. 2-0 pitch. That swung on and lifted foul on the right side out of play. 2-1. Well, Barry Wesson had finished his season at New Orleans last year, and he got the call on his cell phone that he was picked up by the Angels and assigned to Salt Lake. So he was with the Salt Lake Ball Club for the playoffs. The 2-1 pitch, that's taken low. It's now 3-1. This was 2002, actually. 2002, the end of the 2002 season. I got a little confused myself there. As the end of the 2002, not last year, but 2002. And assigned to Salt Lake, so he was in the playoffs for Salt Lake 2 years ago. The 3-1 pitch. That's bounced on 2 hops to the shortstop, Rouse. He makes the play, throws to first in time. There's 1 out of the 8th inning. Said to myself, wait a minute, Edmonton was in the playoffs last year. So here is Tom Gregorio, the catcher. 2-run homer in the 2nd, struck out looking in the 4th, and reached on a Rouse error in the 6th. Sharp as a tack. 5-3 to score. Gregorio, right-handed batter. In the 9th for the Rivercats, it'll be Wilson, Rose, and Watson, 6, 7, and 8. Lear looks in. And the pitch to Gregorio. That's chased and missed 0-1. Well, Perrieri's Bar and Oven, Centro, Cocina Mexicana, in the Blue Q. 3 great restaurants in Midtown to visit before or after a great Rivercats game. Gregorio with a 2-run homer in this game. Difference in the ball game now is Lear to the plate, the 0-1 pitch. That misses low and away, 1-1. Lear making his second appearance, inning in the third. He's allowed 2 hits, no runs, no walks, 2 strikeouts coming in. Here's a 1-1 pitch. That's taken outside, 2-1. Lear's best friend, Chris Enix, pitching for the New Orleans Zephyrs. And we talked about the other day the luck of Enix as they move the fences in, I believe 15 feet. Chris was telling Justin Lear, like, nice timing on that. The 2-1 pitch swung, look out! Hit foul on the right side, about 8 rows above the Salt Lake dugout. Hopefully everybody's okay there. Holy good dugout. That ball was smoked into the seats. Looks like everybody is okay. Wow. 2-2 the count on Tom Gregorio. Man, you have to be careful at the ballpark. And now the usher's coming down to make sure everybody's okay. Here's the 2-2 pitch. That's bounced on 2 offs to third baseman Castro. Makes the play. Fires across the diamond in time, and there are 2 away. So 2 outs in the 8th. And that'll bring up the second baseman, Brian Specht. So Brian Specht, the hitter, with 2 outs and nobody on. River Cats again will have Wilson, Rose, and Watson in the 9th inning. Looks like Steve Andrade is loosening up in the bullpen for the Salt Lake Stingers. So here's Brian Specht, 1 for 3 with an inside the park home run. Pitch from Lear. Changeup, chased and missed 0-1. Good change of pace there from Justin Lear. Well, the Office of Traffic Safety and the California Highway Patrol remind you to buckle up. Always wear your seatbelt. There's just too much to lose. Lear comes set. And the right-hander's 0-1 pitch. That swung on, hit foul to our left. He lit one of the suites and go to the first level of seats. And it is 0-2 now on Brian Specht, hitting .364 on the young season. Choking up on the bat, Brian Specht. Almost looks like Felix Mion there. The 0-2 pitch. Swung on and missed. Down he goes. So he strikes out Specht. A 1-2-3 inning for Lear. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left. We're through 8. Last chance for the River Cats. Salt Lake 5. The River Cats 3. Top of the 9th, and we return on Talk 650 KSTE.
Talk 650 KSTE. Talk 650 KSTE, Rancho Cordova, Sacramento. Savage Nation.
Brett, you're on the Savage Nation.
How you doing? Hello?
All right, next case. You violated the rules of the show.
Savage.
I am not like any other talk show host in America. No one asks me how I'm doing. I don't say, fine, how are you? Then you say, good, glad to hear. Then that wastes 20 seconds.
Michael Savage.
Please don't ask me how I'm doing.
Follows Dr. Laura.
A, you don't know me. B, you don't care. C, I wouldn't tell you.
Weekdays 4 to 7 on Talk 650 KSTE. Sacramento's Talk Station. Sacramento River Cats Baseball, AAA affiliate of the Oakland A's, on Talk 650 KSTE.
Our last chance for the River Cats in the 9th inning. It's a 5-3 game. River Cats trailing by 2. It'll be Wilson, Rose, and Watson to face the right-hander Steve Andrade, trying to close this one out. Andrade, 26-year-old, 6'1", 220-pounder, split time between Rancho Cucamonga and Arkansas last year. Ranch Cucamonga, now the single A affiliate in the Cal League of the Angels. Used to be the Padre affiliate down there in the Cal League. Very nice ballpark, the Epicenter they call it. 1 for 3. Tom Wilson, right-handed hitter. Andrade to the plate in the pitch. That misses low, 1-0. Wilson 1 for 3. Struck out looking, struck out swinging, and singled. 5 runs, 8 hits for the Stingers. 3 runs, 4 hits, and 3 errors for Sacramento. That's where we are, top half of the ninth. Andrade to the plate in the 1-0 pitch. Almost hit him with a fastball. It's 2-0 on Wilson. Hensley did a nice job in his 2 innings. Green pretty solid in his 6. Rivercats will try to get to the man trying to close it out, Steve Andrade. 2-0 pitch. That misses inside. He hasn't even been close. 3-0 the count. Andrade from the third base side of the rubber looks in. Here's the 3-0 pitch. That's taken for a strike. 3-1. Kind of a herky-jerky motion by Andrade. Now some action in the bullpen. And the Rivercats are right-hander. I believe that's Lou Pote beginning to loosen up for Sacramento. There's a 3-1 pitch to Wilson. That's taken low. He lost him with a breaking ball down, aboard at first, I should say. So Wilson walks to lead off the ninth. Now the tying run is at home plate at Mike Rose. Don't count out the Rivercats in this game. Here's Rose, who is 0 for 2 with a walk. Bounced back to the pitcher, bounced out to the second baseman Specht in the 4th, and walked in the 7th. So 1 on with nobody out. 5-3 Salt Lake, top of the 9th. Yeah, that is Lou Pote. Lou Pote beginning to loosen up for the Rivercats. Former member of the Salt Lake Stingers and former member of the Anaheim Angels as Wilson takes his lead. Pitch to Rose. Fastball taken for a strike on 1. Andrade looks in. Andrade to the plate in the pitch. Changeup chased and missed, 0-2 on Rose. Good change of pace there by Andrade. Right-hander looks in. Here's the 0-2 pitch. That swung on, hit down the left field line, slicing foul into the second level of seats, and the count 0-2. Steve Andrade from Woodland, California. Born and raised in Woodland. Angels 32nd round pick of the June 2001 draft, so local product. 0-2 pitch. That's taken a little bit low. It's 1-2. So Andrade from Woodland and Rose from Jesuit around Elk Grove. Went to Cal State Stanislaus. Steve Michael Andrade. 1-2 the count on Rose, hitting .261. Switch hitter batting from the left side. Here's the 1-2 pitch. That swung on a hard hit ball and went out to the first baseman. Quinlan goes to second for 1. Amaziga steps on the bag, throws to first, double play. They get the 3-6-3 double play. And that is our Merlino's Freeze defensive scoop of the game. I'll tell you, outstanding grab by Quinlan. 3-6-3 double play. They're all of a sudden on 1 hop. And there are 2 outs, and suddenly the Rivercats are down to their final out. Our Merlino's Freeze defensive scoop of the game. Baseball and Merlino's, your ticket to a cool season. So here's Matt Watson, the left fielder. Watson, left-handed batter. Here's the pitch. Fastball misses outside, 1-0. 5-3 Stingers, Rivercats down to their final out. Watson has bounced out twice and struck out. Here's a 1-0 pitch. Fastball taken for a strike. It's 1-1. Rivercats need a base runner. Give Morrissey a chance here in the 9th. Andrade's 1-1 pitch. That swung on and popped up. Shallow left center. This should do it. Amaziga backing up, still backing up. Called off by Johnson, who makes the catch, and the ball game is over. So Salt Lake wins the first 2 games of this series. Rivercats have lost a couple in a row. No runs, no hits, a walk, nobody left. Final score, Salt Lake 5, Sacramento 3. More after this on Talk 650 KSTE.
You've been listening to Sacramento River Cats Baseball on Talk 650 KSTE. The Sacramento River Cats, 2003 Pacific Coast League champions and AAA affiliates of the Oakland A's. River Cats Baseball was brought to you by Heineken. It's all about the beer. The Golden One, California's leading credit union. Sacramento Coca-Cola, proud to be a founding corporate partner of the Sacramento River Cats. SBC, going beyond the call. Chevron, no gasoline cleans your engine better than Chevron with Techron. And by Miller Lite, great taste, less filling. Miller, good call. Stay tuned for a complete scoring summary, analysis, and highlights of the game on the River Cats Sure West Wireless Postgame Show. Next.
I don't get
Talk 650 KSTE. Borders. Language, culture, these are his issues. Listen to Michael Savage, afternoons 4 to 7, only on the Talk Station. Talk 650 KSTE. Talk 650 KSTE.
It's got to be cordless. Phone, internet, TV.
Are you listening?
Is it better than M-Life?
Armstrong and Getty.
I was at the phone store the other day. I'm not kidding.
Check them out.
These young college punks were looking at my phone and giggling. All the kids with their pierced nipples and their M-Life. Yeah, exactly. Go up to Jack like he's rode in on a mule. Like I'm a gold panner who came down from the hills on his mule.
Wake up with Armstrong and Getty.
Keep your hands off my mule.
Mornings on the Talk Station.
Everybody wants to pet your mule.
Talk 650 KSTE. This is Sacramento River Cats Baseball, and it's time for the Sure West Wireless Postgame Show. Sure West, the lowest flat rate in town. Plans start at $29 a month. Here again is the voice of the River Cats, Johnny Dosco.
Yeah, 5-3 the final. Salt Lake wins it. River Cats have lost 2 in a row to fall to 2-4. Salt Lake with the victory. They're now 5-1 on the young season. Totals in the ball game for Salt Lake: 5 runs, 8 hits, and no errors. For the River Cats, 3 runs, 4 hits, and 3 errors. The winning pitcher, Canadian Steve Green, threw a gem. He's 2-0. Losing pitcher Mike Wood falls to 1-1, and the save to Steve Andrade, his first of the year. We'll tell you how it happened after this on Talk 650 KSTE.
When Glenn Beck talks, people listen and howl, cheer, or cry foul. Right after Armstrong and Getty at 10 each morning. Check out Glenn Beck, only on Talk 650 KSTE.
The enemies are at your gate, moron. They've knocked your door down. They want to burn your country to the ground. Idiot. Why don't you stand up and be a straight-up American like your grandfather was, you punk?
Michael Savage.
Shall I tell it to you another way? All these jerk-offs that I have to deal with every day. These weaklings, their minds have been warped by their socialist teacher. Why don't you just get with the program?
Don't miss Michael Savage.
You sound like a pothead skateboarder or surfer.
This afternoon at 4 on Talk 650 KSTE. Nobody's talking. Talk 650 like Talk 650. Talk 650 KSTE.
Michael, I want to tell you, you are the funniest man ever.
Michael Savage.
I want to know why you are not on every radio station across America. I love you. You're so intelligent and your mind works.
So I'm really getting into your brain.
Well, I just got married and I don't have a job yet, and I sit and listen to you every day from 4 to 7. I come home and I tell my husband everything you say. And sometimes I'm talking with a New York accent.
Michael Savage.
That's good. That's good.
The voice you can't ignore.
I want to be your personal promoter if you're turning our house into a Savage Nation.
Weekday afternoons at 4 on Talk 650 KSTE.
Your radio could drive you crazy.
The Talk Station.
What is it?
Daytime, nighttime, anytime.
Way to be strong, man.
You'll know it when you hear it. Talk 650 KSTE. River Cats Baseball, nights and weekends on Talk 650. Talk 650 KSTE.
5-3 the final, a very crisp baseball game as Salt Lake wins for the second time in a row over the River Cats. We had no score. Matter of fact, Green had retired the first 7 that he faced. In the bottom of the second, Salt Lake got it going. They got a 2-out single by Wesson. Tom Gregorio then hit a 2-run homer over the left field wall. Actually looked like a pretty good pitch from Wood, but it was low, and Gregorio able to golf it out of the ballpark. Then Brian Speck, the second baseman, an inside the park home run. So Brian Speck with his first home run of the year. Gregorio is first, by the way, for Speck his 4th RBI. That made it 3-0. River Cats got a run back. They got an RBI ground out from Steve Stanley as Adam Morrissey came in to score. As a 1-out walk to Morrissey, a double by Castro, and then the RBI ground out from Steve Stanley. That made it 3-1. Meanwhile, Green and Wood were exchanging zeros until the bottom of the 6th inning. Wood hurt himself. There was an error by Mike Rouse on a ground ball. The throw from Rouse actually made a nice play of actually smothering the ball, but his throw drew Dan Johnson off the bag for an error. And then Mike Wood, an errant pickoff throw, which brought Riggs to second base. Pelaez then did a good job moving Riggs to third base with a ground ball to the second baseman. Then Gary Johnson walked, and Barry Wesson came through with a sacrifice fly to give the Salt Lake Stingers a 4-1 lead. The River Cats made it 4-2. Dan Johnson with a solo homer in the 7th inning, his 4th of the year, league-leading 4th home run of the year, and his 13th RBI. That made it 4-2. Salt Lake, though, came back with a run in the bottom of the 7th as they got a single by Amezaga. 2 outs later, a walk to Riggs, and then Lear would replace Wood. In the first pitch, Pelaez would see from Lear. He would hit into left field for the single, scoring Amezaga and making it 5-2. The River Cats get one of those runs back, though, in the 8th off of Matt Hensley, Aaron Harang's former teammate, former high school teammate. With 1 out, Mike Rouse unloaded. He had a solo shot, his first home run of the year and first RBI. That made it 5-3, and that's where it ended. The River Cats in the 9th got a walk to Wilson, which meant that Rose represented the tying run, but Rose bounced into the 3-6-3 double play, hit it hard, but unfortunately on one hop right at Quinlan, and it was a 3-6-3 double play. Quinlan to Amezaga, back to Quinlan, and then Watson would fly out to the left fielder Johnson to end it, and we had a 5-3 final score. Steve Green, an outstanding job in this game. 14 ground ball outs for the Canadian. Mike Wood did a great job himself. He had 10 ground ball outs, but Green just a little bit better on this night. And Steve, his line will tell you in a minute. 5-3, the final score. Salt Lake wins it. We'll go through all the pitching lines after this on Talk 650 KSTE.
Remember, today you listen to Talk 650 KSTE.
Talk 650 KSTE presents the Talk 650 Connection, a safe way for singles to meet. Whether you're looking for a relationship or just want to have fun, you can choose from thousands of people like yourself. Call 1-866-544-9229. You'll be directed through personal ads and mailboxes to people with similar values and interests. You'll meet only the people who interest you. 1-866-544-9229. To open a free mailbox and hear voice ads from other singles. 1-866-544-9229. For the Talk 650 Connection. On the the Telechat Network.
Nobody's talking like Talk 650. Armstrong and Getty.
This is a good topic, too. I'm glad you called.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Hi, what's on your mind? Lorraine, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm here.
Go ahead, Lauren.
Are you?
You called us.
Okay, all right.
Good Lord. Off to a fast start today.
About your boil, get some boilies and sit in some hot water.
Armstrong and Getty.
You'll be fine.
Little boilies and sit in some hot water.
Yeah.
There you go.
Early mornings on the Talk Station. Talk 650 KSTE.
Good tip.
This is Sacramento River Cats baseball on Talk 650 KSTE.
All right, pitching lines in the baseball game. Mike Wood, 6 2/3 innings. He allowed 7 hits, 5 runs, 4 earned, 2 walks, and 2 strikeouts. Justin Lear, 1 1/3, 1 hit. He struck out 1. Steve Green, the win, 2-0. As Green went 6 innings, allowed 3 hits, 2 runs, both earned, issued 3 walks, and he struck out 3. Matt Hensley, 2 innings, 1 hit. 1 run was earned, no walks, and 2 strikeouts. Steve Andrade with a save, his first 1 inning and 1 walk. Time of the ball game, 2 hours and 12 minutes. The attendance, 3,651. We'll come back with the scores and tell you what's on tap for tomorrow night when we return after this on Talk 650 KSTE.
Okay, roll it.
There's a streak in all of us. You know what I'm saying? They're like shock dogs. Don't you understand?
Michael said. Afternoons at 4.
I feel good. I'm giddy from it.
On Talk 650 KSTE. Talk with Armstrong and Getty, Michael Savage, Dr. Laura, and Glenn Beck.
Talk to us about the things that matter to you most. Whatever's on your mind, no matter who the host. Got a question or a gripe or giving someone props. Doesn't matter because the conversation never stops. Hit the buttons, dial the numbers, come on, don't be shy. Might be the only chance you get, so don't let it slip.
You do the talking.
I guess my concern is that
On the Talk Station, Talk 650, Talk 650,
Talk to us.
KSTE. The Talk Station, Talk 650 KSTE, Rancho Cordova, Sacramento. Talk 650 KSTE.
Bobby here.
Hi, this is Frank Gorshin. I'm the Riddler from Batman.
Gee, Wally, I gotta get going on account of the Armstrong and Getty show is on.
Prominently featured on the Armstrong and Getty Show.
This is Al Lewis, Grandpa Munster.
It's our A-list of B-list celebrities.
This is Johnny Cochran. If they don't entertain, you must abstain. From the Armstrong and Getty Show.
Hi, this is Chelsea Charms.
This is Bill Walton. Hi, I'm William Shatner.
Armstrong and Getty. Early mornings on the Talk Station. Talk 650 KSTE.
This station is proud to offer its listeners the ability to listen to this broadcast via the internet. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the stream. We'll be right back. Streaming media provided by liquidcompass.net.
River Cats baseball on Fox 650 KSTE.
All right, the scores: Tucson beat Portland today 7-6. So the Sidewinders are now 4-1 on the year. In that game, Scott Service, former River Cat, with the win, 2-0. Bart Miotich, former Salt Lake Stinger, with the loss, 1-1. Chad Tracy, his second home run of the year. It was Omaha over New Orleans, 9-2. In that game, it was Brad Voiles with a win, 1-0. Kirk Sarloos, the loss, 0-2. Rob Ryan, his first home run for New Orleans. For Omaha, Calvin Pickering at 2 home runs, numbers 4 and 5. So much for Dan Johnson being the home run leader, as Pickering has 5. Gomez with his first, and Geddes with his first as well. It was Albuquerque trailing Nashville 3-2. That game is in the 7th inning. Tacoma and Vegas scoreless in the 3rd inning. Fresno trailing 3-1 in the 3rd inning. Edmonton leading that game 3-1, easy for me to say. Colorado Springs in the top of the 8th, leading Memphis 5-3. That game was in the 8th inning. Oklahoma defeated Iowa 4-3. Rodriguez the win, 1-0. Anderson the loss, 0-1. Brad Klontz his second save. Perez his third home run for Oklahoma, and Martinez hit his first for Iowa. Over the major leagues, the Kansas City Royals losing to the White Sox 12-5. Esteban Loaiza with a win 2-0. May the loss 0-2. Tony Graffinito hit his first home run. Mike Sweeney his first. Angel Baroa his first, and Aaron Guile hit his third. Over the White Sox, Konerko hit his first, and Uribe hit his first. Oakland and Texas. Oakland was leading 10-7 at last check. That game was in the 8th inning. Jermaine Dye his third home run of the year for Oakland. Damian Miller his first. Brad Fulmer hit his first for Texas. Seattle 2, Anaheim nothing. That game at last check in the third inning. Edgar Martinez has hit his first home run of the year. Tampa Bay and the Yankees, they were postponed, as was Baltimore and Boston. Toronto defeating Detroit 7-5. Terry Adams the win in relief 1-0. Patterson the loss 0-1. Justin Spire his first save, and Eric Hinsky, former River Cat, with his second home run of the year for Toronto. San Francisco leading Milwaukee 3-1 in the bottom of the 6th. Marquise Grissom with 2 home runs, numbers 2 and 3. The Dodgers leading San Diego in the 4th 1-0. We do have a couple of finals, or actually one final. Florida shutting out Montreal 5-0. Brad Penny the win 1-1. Claudio Vargas the loss 1-1. Miguel Cabrera 2 home runs, numbers 4 and 5 for Florida. Houston, they lead St. Louis 4-1 in the 9th inning. Lance Berkman has hit his second. Adam Everett his first for the Astros. Don't forget, friends, tomorrow night at 7 o'clock, Heineken on deck, 7:15 first pitch. You won't want to miss it. Great pitching matchup. 2 bright prospects. It'll be Joe Blanton for the River Cats, no record ERA of 1.80. Bobby Jenks, the big right-hander for the Anaheim Angel AAA affiliate, the Salt Lake Stingers, no record ERA of 5.14. Blanton and Jenks tomorrow night, 7 o'clock, Heineken on deck, 7:15 first pitch. Well, it was a good ball game, a crisp 2-hour, 12-minute job, but Salt Lake wins their second in a row. Steve Green, an outstanding performance. I mean, Mike Wood pitched pretty well himself, but Green, 14 ground ball outs, 6 innings of 3-hit baseball, just allowed 1 run, issued 3 walks, struck out 4, but both pitchers around the plate throughout the majority of the ball game. It was a fun game. Unfortunately, the River Cats came out on the short end, but hope you join us tomorrow night. River Cats have lost 2 in a row. They're now 2-4. Salt Lake brings the record to 5-1. I'd like to thank Tim DeStefano, as he did an outstanding job as our engineer tonight. For Tim DeStefano, this is Johnny Dosco bidding you farewell from Franklin Covey Field in Salt Lake City, Utah, where the River Cats lose to Salt Lake by a final score of 5-3. For Tim, this is Johnny. Good night, everybody.
You've been listening to the Sacramento River Cats Sure West Wireless Postgame Show. Sure West, the lowest flat rate in town. Plans start at $29 a month. The Sacramento River Cats. 2003 Pacific Coast League champion and AAA affiliate of the Oakland A's. Join us next time for more exciting River Cats baseball on Talk 650 KSTE.